kita udah latihan dengan waktu yang banyak. Untuk ini, ayo kita keluar, kita tunjukin ke mereka siapa yang terkuat.
Okay, if we lose this tower, we can fight them back. I know we can do it.
This is going to be the fight of the century.
Let me take the shot.
Everyone, come back down. We need to defend. Come on, we can do this.
Jemand muss in den Jungle, Leute. Wir brauchen Vision. Wir sind zwar Head, aber die Gegner sind verdammt gut. Also aufpassen, Leute. Werdet jetzt auf keinen Fall übermütig. Es wird nichts gewonnen.
The biggest tournament there's ever been for the biggest mobile game in the world, competing for the biggest prize pool in mobile esports history. It is all big, and it is the Arena of Valor World Cup. Welcome back to Los Angeles. I'm Matt Andrews, and we are on day 5 of our incredible tournament, looking to see who are the best players in Arena of Valor. It's been brilliant here so far in Los Angeles. Our group stages took 12 teams and sent 4 of them packing in an amazing set of games. Yesterday we had 2 really one-sided quarterfinals. Today, 2 more quarterfinals to go, and then we know who will join us next week for our big double elimination end of things in Hollywood when we crown our world champion. Our games to look forward to today are between Chinese Taipei and Thailand Wildcard, and China and Vietnam. 4 brilliant teams. We are expecting quite a close day of matches, particularly compared to yesterday, which I know you watched because every day I've implored you to, so please tell me you actually watched yesterday. Otherwise, I don't know why I'm here. If you missed it looked like this. Thailand against Chinese Taipei wildcard was our first game of our 2 best of 5s, and it kind of set the tone for what we expected. Later on, it turned into a more one-sided game than we had anticipated. Remember, Thailand were worried in the draw when they picked Chinese Taipei wildcard as their opposition. Nevertheless, they made quite short work of them. They win this quarterfinal 3-0. We had a few tears on the Chinese Taipei wildcard side. Look right now, you'll see a 15k gold lead to Thailand. That's how dominant they were. Swept them aside, waltzed into the quarterfinals. We thought that was a demolition job, and then we saw the definition of a demolition job when Korea faced North America. No disrespect to North America. Remember, they qualified for the boot camp a month ago. They placed tier 2 in that boot camp. They made it to the groups. They made it out of the groups to quarterfinals, and then Korea demolished them here 3-0. In 3 games, North America managed to get 3 kills, 2 Abyssal Dragons, and 1 single solitary tower. Korea showing why they may well go ahead and win this whole thing and be the world champions, and North America unfortunately don't get to the semi-final stage here in Los Angeles. So those were two very exciting quarterfinals, but the day was over much quicker than any of us expected. I think today, settle in, we're in for two closer games. What do you think? Well, let us know online at Arena of Valor. Send us your tweets, keep up to date with all the news, and check in on AOV Esports from time to time to see what's going on with us there as well. And then come and see if your predictions were right, if you figured out who was going to be at the semi-finals, and watch them in action. That's all at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood next Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th of July. That's where they hold the Oscars, one of the most famous venues in the world. Come and join us and get your tickets to do so at AOVWorldCup2018.eventbrite.com. That's AOVWorldCup2018.eventbrite.com. Buy your tickets and come and join us as we crown the first ever world champion for Arena of Valor, and that's next week. Then after that's done, Swag Sunday is where you get to win something. You get your own new character in-game, one of the DC heroes or villains. You grab one of those for free in-game. We've seen a lot of action, well, banning Superman. Maybe you'd like to play with him. Grab him on Swag Sunday, or any of the other DC characters. That is set you up for our final day of quarterfinals. There's a lot to look forward to. We'll go over to our casters. We have Rip, we have Sujay, and we have the first of our amazing quarterfinals. So don't go anywhere, because the action is coming to you now on day 5 of the Arena of Valor World Cup.
Alrighty, thank you, Matt. I am Rip, joined by Sujay. Of course, this is the Arena of Valor World Cup, day number 5. We are in the knockout stage.
Yeah, day 5 knockout. We got to see 2 teams come through to make it to the semifinals, and we're gonna decide the next 2 teams today.
Yeah, let's take a look at the schedule of what's just happened in the last 2 days. You see Thailand 3 over Chinese Taipei, Korea 3 over North America. I think today's match is gonna be a little bit closer. First up, of course, we're gonna have Chinese Taipei going up against Thailand wildcard, and then China versus Vietnam later on today.
Yeah, and Chinese Taipei versus Thailand wildcard is probably going to be the closest matchup of the quarterfinals. This is going to probably go all the way to the best of 5. Both teams so powerful, but Chinese Taipei, the championship team from Chinese Taipei, looking to represent their region. There are their region's last hope here.
Yeah, Neil, Star, Wins, and of course their support Benny, who's doing so well, and NX as well, and can't forget Yuzan up at the top. Chinese Taipei has such a strong team here.
Yeah, definitely. That's the player to watch is Neo. We know Benny, his support, and Yuzan, that side lane on Ari. He played so well. All players in their positions are so talented.
And of course, their opponents for this set, it's going to be Thailand Wildcard.
Yeah, Thailand wildcard. This is the team that did so well in the playoffs. Just the only team taking 2 games off the #1 seeded team, Thailand. This is a team that is a late game team fighting powerhouse. They are a team that you definitely need to watch out for.
Yeah, of course, we know Romeo's going to be up in that top lane, Kid in the jungle, Drewy in mid, Towers in bot, and KSA, wonderful support there. And these teams, they've been battling. I think, as I mentioned, they've met before. It's going to be a lot closer this time. Let's see what these 2 teams had to say about each other going to today's battle.
จุดอ่อนของทีม TP ผมคิดว่าเขาเล่นสไตล์เหมือนเดิมเยอะเกินไป
泰国2队前期一样是蛮凶的，前期入侵野区。
我们有自信不会输给其他队伍。
จุดอ่อนของเขาคือการที่เขามีความมั่นใจมากเกินไป
也是只要你们前期拿到一点优势的话，你们家的野区就是我们家的野区。
ผมว่าจุดอ่อนของทีม TP 1ก็คือถ้าเราแบนฮีโร่โป๊ะเขาจะเล่นแบบไม่ค่อยดุดันเหมือนฮีโร่ที่เขาชอบหรือถนัดมากกว่า
Yeah, Chinese Taipei, like they said, once we take your jungle, it is our jungle. They definitely have the advantage when it comes to jungle pressure and early game. But Thailand Wildcard, they're a more humble team. They're not as overly confident as Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, I mean, you can see too, they have a really thought out process here. They really feel that Chinese Taipei are predictable in the draft, that they have less specific heroes they can play. They said that themselves. Here is the coin toss though, and it looks like it's going to go in favor of Chinese Taipei. And now they're talking over like they didn't decide what they wanted if they wanted the coin toss.
Yeah, let's see what they have decided. Are they going to take blue first, or they're going to decide on red? And this will be an interesting matchup, especially side lane. And they're going to take the blue. And the players to watch is going to be Kit versus Neil in jungle. And of course, Yuzan versus Romeo.
Oh, yeah.
Both extremely aggressive jungles as we've seen it during the World Cup group stages. These are the matchups to watch, jungle and top lane.
And of course, these two teams, they did meet at the AWC boot camp. Oh man, but here's a look at their coaches. You know, I like their choice of wardrobe here. We got a little tie there on the Taipei side. No tie over on Thailand wildcard side, though.
I bet on a notebook. I think the notebook's going to win.
Ooh, you want paper over digital?
Paper over digital. But look, he's having fun. Thailand wildcard. You know, they're a team that is very, like I said, very humble. They're going to take advantage of the overconfidence that Chinese Taipei has. Because Chinese Taipei, although a very confident team, they want to exert that pressure in the early game and just shut down Thailand wildcard. Because we've seen Thailand wildcard, when they get to that late game, they are so good. That's when they really scale and shine.
Yeah, what I was trying to say earlier, that at the boot camp, these two teams actually did play against each other, and Chinese Taipei actually won that set 2-0.
Yeah, so looking for redemption here, Thailand wildcard. But at the same time, Chinese Taipei, their sister team, Chinese Taipei wildcard, lost yesterday. So they are Chinese Taipei's last hope. They are representing their region. A lot of pride is on the line. They have to make it through this knockout stage to make it into the semifinals. So they can say that a Chinese Taipei team will be represented in the semifinals of the Arena of Valor World Cup.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point, because yesterday we had a flip side, right? Both of these teams, both of these regions had a wildcard team and a non-wildcard team.
Yeah.
And we had a flipped and flop. So yesterday, Thailand took out the Chinese Taipei wildcard team. Today, Chinese Taipei want to represent their region by taking out the Thailand wildcard. So if Thailand wildcard can get them here, we're going to have 2 Thailand teams over 2 Chinese Taipei teams.
Yeah, look at Star there again. This guy wants to be known and says that he is the best mid laner in the world. Do you guys agree? I may have to agree. This guy is so talented, and he's looking to really scale into that late game. If you give this guy Crixie, you're asking for a lot of trouble.
Well, the first ban coming out of Chinese Taipei gonna be on the Zenio. And I'm so curious, the Superman ban coming out of Thailand wildcard.
Yeah, Zenio and Teamy and Omen are their bans normally for Chinese Taipei. Pretty predictable draft for the most part. Let's see if they're going to follow that same draft pattern, because Thailand wildcard has kind of studied their opponents. They're going to ban Omen here, which leaves Arum as the next ban by Thailand wildcard. And now I wonder if they're going to take away Teamy or leave it open so he can first pick it.
Oh, that's a curious question. I wonder what their strategy is going to be here. I like the Omen ban, though, that they had a second ago, because we do know that Romeo has done a lot of great work with Omen in that top side for Thailand wildcard.
Yeah, like I said, Zenio, Omen, Teamy are their most likely bans here. So are they going to follow the script, or they're going to switch things up? But I do like, so far, the ban. And Malik is going to be taken off. So that leaves Thailand wildcard their chance to either take off that Teamy or play against it.
Yeah, I love this. You've talked about this in many other draft and ban pick phases, where you say, you know, force the other team to spend their ban on that Teamy or first pick it yourself. And now it's really on Thailand wildcard. And coming into this Thailand wildcard, they were saying, you know, we do think that Taipei is very predictable in this.
Yeah, they're not going to mess around. If you know in the group stages, both teams actually gave their opponents Superman and lost the game. And I'm glad they're banning Superman now, because they made a mistake. I think this is try hard mode now. And the first pick Lindis come out. Kit, actually one of the best Lindis players in this game. They're going to take it away from him, and that means Neil will be playing this Lindis instead of him.
Yeah, and the Thailand wildcard team actually banning out that Irie. We saw Yuzan in top lane doing so much work with it as well. And look at the picks that's coming out here.
Is that serious? Is that really a Vera pick here? No, they're going to switch it up.
Thinking about it. But still, you know, Benny is locked in. I mean, you know, his pick is locked in. They got a Lindis on their team. Thailand wildcard got the Crixie and the Teamy. And now Chinese Taipei locking into Arjuin and the Scud.
Arjun and Scud, so much synergy together. They have a lot of CC in their kit. Arjun and Scud have 2 CCs. Arjun has his red knockup. He has his Ko ultimate that can stun you. Scud has that Wild Beast Fred that can knock you out. And also his power, his Furious Charge that can also CC you. So some solid picks here on side lane for Chinese Taipei Red. I wonder how Thailand Wildcard's going to respond. You know, they have, you know, like Kilgroth potentially could play. That's what they played before. They could also look at Lubu. They traded Lubu. They played Scud, but Scud is taken away.
Right.
So let's see if they're going to pick up any of those side laners. Look like Slims will be their hero, and Wonder Woman will be picked instead.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're going to go with here. I really like the Scud pick, though, out of Chinese Taipei. That's not a character or a hero that they haven't been using much lately, so to take it away from Thailand Wildcard, good call.
Yeah, with Malik being banned, Malik is so good into Wonder Woman. He basically beats her and puts more lane pressure against the Wonder Woman. So with Malik being banned, Wonder Woman is actually a great pick. And then we're going to see an Alice being picked up here. And then finally, they're going to pick their mage. I wonder what mage are they going to pick into Crixie. We saw Crixie being so dominant, but we did see that Natalia picked there, that Korea played into North America's Crixie and just dominated Crixie with that Gragnatar combo. They're going to go with the Flash. And here, a lot of people say Crixie beats Flash. Flash could beat Crixie. It's really a skill matchup.
He's indecisive too.
Yeah, it's really based on who's using what skills, right? Because if Crixie uses the Mischief, Flash can go in there and outpoke her. But Crixie in general can put more lane pressure because she has more AoE damage overall. So let's see what they're going to decide here. Oh, Liliana instead. Okay.
I'm going to call Lubu. How do you feel about that?
Kilgroth.
Kilgroth, even better.
There, Kilgroth, strong split pusher. They want to match the Scud, right? Kilgroth is going to be able to stand toe-to-toe against the Scud here. I'm wondering how the side lane matches. It's going to be Romeo versus Yuzan, so it's going to be Scud versus that Kilgroth. We have to definitely watch the lane matchups. Both of these players, Yuzan and Romeo, are known to be super aggressive and carry their team, pushing that top lane. So I wonder who is going to come out on top.
Yeah, it's a very curious question indeed. And you know, I'll just look at the composition here. Not a ton of CC out of Thailand Wildcard. A lot more harder to place compared to the CC that we're going to see out of Chinese Taipei side.
Yeah, interesting that Irie did not come out in this pick here. Wonder Woman, we haven't seen her played a lot, but those lassos have been so clutch.
Yeah, Irie was banned here, so...
Oh, Barry, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, because we were talking about that earlier. You know, Yuzan had done so much work with Irie. I think there's a good ban from Thailand Wildcard there.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see how Tao's gonna play this Wonder Woman. That lasso is a game changer. Great engage, right? You can lasso in there and then just turn on your British submission, stun the entire team. Or when someone's really low on health, less than 50% health, use that lasso to pull them right back and secure that kill.
Yeah.
That is going to be critical in a lot of these fights.
Exactly. Very effective as a hook itself, as long as the enemy below 50%. But here you see the final draft between Chinese Taipei and Thailand Wildcard. We're going to be going into game one in just a second. But to run it down, here it is. Chinese Taipei got the Alice, the Arduin, Liliana, Lindis, and Scud. And on Thailand Wildcard side, we've got Crixie, Wonder Woman, Teamy, Slims, and Kilgroth.
Yeah, I think from an early game perspective, Chinese Taipei has the advantage. You know, Liliana and Crixie pretty weak in early game, but Arjuin and Scud can definitely do some more damage in the early game, along with Lindis. Lindis is probably the real reason why they can be more aggressive and invade the jungle versus Thailand Wildcard here, because Slims, he needs to take time to scale up. He needs his items, and then they need to combo the Flying Spear CC side. And it looks like Chinese Taipei might be the more aggressive team. So
oh my goodness, yeah, Thailand Wildcard, Chuck and Benny, he ate the Pooty Poots very early there. And that stun really stacked up, and I'm going to probably recall here.
Yeah, a fully charged Pooty Poots. It's going to stun you for a much longer time and do max amounts of damage. And that was such a nice aggressive play. Because they did that, Chinese Taipei needs back off.
And more Pooty Poots coming out. And you can see their chunk of damage Yuzan losing about 33% in early engage.
Yeah, and look at Wins being really aggressive, but Jury getting the rotation down.
Beautiful. Nature's Wrath going to pop him up level 2 as well. Does he have a mischief again? Get the red for the knockout. He may fall here. Wins not going to make it out. Taos gets first blood.
Wow, what a nice rotation by Jury there. Wins being so aggressive, trying to win his side lane. And look at this 2 versus 1 here.
Yeah, beautiful gank from Drewy. You saw the mischief and then the Nation Wrath. The Ren trying to save some time there, but as he gets away, Wonder Woman with that dashing shield stab. Boom!
Yeah, very, very nice. Wonder Woman getting back into this meta.
Yeah, very nice. And now, you see both teams slowing down just a notch, but Thailand Wildcard off to the early lead here.
Yeah, look at a nice sunshine. KSSA is not going to get off another Pooty Poots. Yeah, and look at the gold per minute for Kit here. That's the key to Thailand War. He has the highest gold per minute in the World Cup. This guy is a farming monster, so watch his rotations. Look how fast he's able to farm and rotate and support his side laners. And look at that, they're exerting a lot of dragon control side of the map here.
Yeah, we're closing in on that 2-minute mark. You see Kit's already at that level 4. Everyone else on to level 3 below him on his team. But Dragon is coming up right now. Let's see, is Thailand Wildcard going to push this early? We know that Chinese Taipei know they're going to try for it. And oh man, this is going to be a big challenge for it.
Yeah, they're contesting each other. They're focusing. KSA is getting some damage. Wind's going in there.
Yeah, Thailand is actually getting chunked. KSA is in big trouble. He's going to have to get out of this fight. The Dragon very low. It's going to go to Taipei's Neil.
Wow, Neil, such a clutch punish there, securing the Dragon.
Drewy stuck too, and he's going to fall.
I love the focus that they did there. They saw that KSA was out of position. Everyone focused him. He's not level 4. He doesn't have Bino Bro up. He had to flicker away to run to safety, and once he did that, they knew they won the trade, and Neil secured the Dragon with a really nice punish. And that's going to give Chinese Taipei a nice lead.
Yeah, in Chinese Taipei, they were talking about how Thailand Wildcard was very aggressive over those early Dragons, and they really challenged them on it, and they definitely got the better of that exchange.
Yeah, they are going to hit their level 4s now. Ooh, Tao's again getting another kill. This dual rotation at bot lane on Dragon side is working really well for Thailand Wildcard here. It's going to put them right back into the game.
Yeah, the one woman getting ahead right now, got 2-1 on her KDA. And you see Romeo with that kill grot, he's going to become such a factor later if Yuzan lets him have more control of this lane.
Yeah, let's see. Neo has finished his tier 3 jungle item. So I'm able to put some pressure against the Slims here. Wonder if he's going to go ahead and start invading jungle, but you can see the amount of poke that they're pushing onto Chinese Taipei. They have to play a little defensive, but the map control belongs to Thailand Wildcard right now.
Yeah, Neil and Star with this Liliana Lindis is going to be so dangerous late game. You see up top, though, Thailand Wildcard, they're pushing in on that top tower. They want to get as much lane control as they can up there.
Yeah, they're posturing, waiting for the Spirit Sentinel potentially. He's going to spawn in about 12 seconds here. But look at this rotation. Thailand Wildcard's doing a really good job with these 3-man rotations. They have much more river control, and as a result, they're able to rotate 2-man and kill Winds twice. So Winds, he's got to adapt, because that's the second time he's died, so he cannot give up and die, especially when Dragon's about to spawn. So you can see he's playing a lot more safe now. Dragon's going to spawn soon.
Oh, wait a second. Kids stay deep in the jungle. Gets the Pooty Poots on Benny, and a little poke there from Drewy with that mischief as well. Benny down to half life.
Yeah, and look at that. Benny on the Alice.
Oh, Tal's in trouble. Stuck in that hissy fit. Oh my goodness, trying to get out. Finally, barely makes it out.
Yeah, Benny has such a good KD range because of his assists. He does such a good job landing all of his ability to support his team. And the skirmish in mid there. KSA is so aggressive on this teaming here. He's constantly landing Pooty Poots. And now they got map control. They're just winning map control, and they're going to probably take this jungle.
Yeah, Pooty Poots is stunned so they can get the Might Golden Change. But here comes Wind from behind now, closing in. Then Trapman's going to slow down KSA. He's not going to get out. He's going to fall to Neil. And there's still the fight going on. The Moonfall getting out of there. Yuzan pushing out of Hissy Fit. And now they're chasing out. Talon Wildcard in full retreat. Tao's low, but I think he might make it out. Luna Champion, not enough damage there to close it out.
Yeah, look at Lineage just putting so much pressure, but really nice focus there by Chinese Taipei onto KSSA. Again, he's posturing so aggressively. He's made some plays, but now they're able to punish him right back. And that Dragon is going to go over to Chinese Taipei. That's a second Dragon, giving them a nice 1K gold lead.
Yeah, this is a very close game so far. 1K goal lead, only 1 kill advantage in favor of Chinese Taipei. But you can see the lanes. Right now, Talon Walker still has good control of the map.
Yeah, they do have good control, but Chinese Taipei is trying to exert more and more pressure here. They're slightly ahead, so it's going to come down to how KSSA plays and Benny here.
My goodness.
Look at that damage.
Yeah, tons of damage out of that Liliana there, just from the brush. She was in Fox form, so much damage. And now Romeo trying to push the lane, but he's got to be careful. Here comes Yuzan and Neil to close in on him.
Oh, wow. He's going to run away. Romeo doing a good job backing off when it's needed. And look at this 3-man counter rotation here.
Yeah, they got 4 down in bot actually, and the Hissy comes out. Kiss says, got to retreat. Tao's in big trouble here. Gonna survive. Blade of submission and Moonfall behind it. And man, is Kiss going to make it? He is so low.
Wow, it looks Stars. It might be able to transform back into Fox form and dive in, but he's not able to. Nice stun there. keep Star off the team because that'd been a very dangerous kill if he had it.
Yeah, very dangerous situation for Thailand. Wildcard to barely escape. Romeo trying to defend this mid tower, but he is getting chunked down. The Lunar Champion doing so much damage as well. You see Slim's rotating and try to defend as well, but I don't think they're going to be able to. Mid tower is going to fall.
Yeah, this one makes Lindis so powerful. Once she finishes that tier 3 jungle item, she can put so much pressure with Lunar Champion. You see the range and the amount of damage that she can output. Everyone just needs to run away and back off. And Neo's been positioning Lindis so well in these games where he's not a focus from the opponent and he comes at the right moment to then do as much damage as possible.
Yeah, you see him taking the Spirit Sentinel there. And now you see KSA, he's trying. He's so aggressive early, but really been more and more ineffective as his games progressed. And now you see Romeo up here in the top lane. He's got to be careful. Chinese Taipei, all of them rotating up here.
Yeah, definitely here we have that 3-man rotation protecting tower. Yuzon's in a bit of trouble. He's going to dodge that flying spear. Now what Chinese Taipei wants to do, they want to get the next dragon. They want to force a fight now because they are ahead, right? They have a slight level advantage. You can see KSA's level 8, and look at this. Look at that poke.
Yeah, beautiful Nature's Wrath into that mission, that combo, doing about 20%. But Yuzon going in too deep. He's going to fall there. The Moonfall's ready. KSA gets the kill over Yuzon.
Yeah, that was so risky for Yuzon that he wanted to go in there, activate his ultimate to get rid of the wave, so he did himself for the wave, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. But Thailand Wildcard is not taking advantage of that death and putting some more map control somewhere. Instead, Chinese Taipei is the one invading and taking jungle.
Yeah, they are definitely invading right now. Now they're trying to rotate to find someone else, but you can see there the one woman retreating after the bottom, but she's in trouble. Is she going to make it out? Beautiful. Flicker, get out, but she was so low. My goodness. KSA now trying to defend.
Yeah, but Romeo's probably get that pop tower. Look at Benny. He's going to get knocked out and hit. Wow.
Not going to make it. Hissy fits under the tower. KSA is going to fall as well. Did he get a pop? His big bro, he did. He's back.
Yeah, what a nice defense by Thailand Wildcard. They gave basically Romeo enough time as Kilgrod to take the top tower uncontested there. So really smart play by Romeo, seeing that, you know, Neo came in, invaded their blue side jungle, put pressure on the dragon side of the map, and then traded the tower for that. But Chinese Taipei, that's the third dragon they've stacked up.
Yeah, they've got still, you know, it's relatively close. Despite the 3 dragon advantage, it's only a 1,000 kill lead here, or 1,000 gold lead, I should say, and only a 1 kill lead for Thailand.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Romeo and actually Wins, they're both the most aggressive players on their team. And look, they're going to rush the Darks there right now.
Yeah, interesting strategy here by Thailand Wildcard, but you can see Taos, he is going to fall, but he is distracting them. And this Dark there looks like it may go in favor of Thailand Wildcard. They're going to get it. And you see the Moonfall there trying to get him, and Stark just barely going to escape his life. Yuzon having to retreat as well.
Yeah, they have the Darks here. This means they're going to give a lot. It's going to give them that full map control because of damage that they're getting. And Neo's going to take Jong. He's level 14 versus Kit.
Oh my god.
This is devastating. Neo's going to go ahead and get a free tower here. They have to respawn and not give away this free tower. Unfortunately, there's no one on that side of the map, and that's going to be a tower going to Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, you see the Gore Lord over here. Mr. Kilgrod himself, Romeo's pushing down that top lane himself. Going for the tier 2, and he gets it so fast. The attack speed from that passive for Romeo. And now they're going to try to rotate back to mid, perhaps. They're thinking about it, but a lot of defense here from the Chinese Taipei side.
Yeah, Kilgroth with the Enraged Spear and the damage buff from the Dark Slayer. It's going to basically make that tower look like a block of butter to Kilgroth.
Yeah.
So let's see what Thailand Wildcard needs to do because they're staying in the game right now. It's 4-4, just 1k go. They're trading objectives really well. My worry is we know that Thailand Wildcard, when they get to the late game, they can give you so much trouble. And we saw them do that at the playoffs in the boot camp. Let's see if they can do this here now.
Yeah, I mean, the difference here, you know, they're behind the towers, but they've got that Kilgrod to push towers later. And now they're really trying to force the issue here at this mid lane. And now they might find Yuzon out of position, but they're not going to engage on him. Wins trying to come in and start, so the Hissy Fit's going to slow them all down. Thailand Wildcard may be in trouble. Moonfall to try to help him out, but it's not going to do it. Taos, you got to get out. The bigger bro picks him back up, but he's still going to fall. Yuzon going to fall as well. And wow, what a trade there. 2 for 2.
That was such a crazy aggressive engagement by Wins there. But look at Romeo.
Romeo, where art thou? Here he is. Can't get Benny, though.
Yeah, he trusts in there, but you saw how aggressive Wins went. He got a beautiful 3-man knockup as Arjun making plays. KSI falls. He has to use his Beano Bro on himself, and then Tao falls. Then KSI falls back again. But look at that. Wow, Neil with the plays.
Neil with that Lindis being so effective right now. And Thailand Wildcard going to have to retreat.
Yeah, look at this. The engage by Wins made that. He had to use Beano Bro right there. Taos doesn't have it up for him. Teamy gets revived. They go in and they both trade 2 for 2, but look at the positioning. And that was a key fight because it was a 5 versus 4 there. And it was an even fight. So Thailand Wildcard actually did pretty well given the numbers advantage that Chinese Taipei had.
Yeah, and in that time, Chinese Taipei actually did get another dragon as well. So that goal lead now slowly creeping higher for Chinese Taipei as they rotate up now to maybe try to push over this top lane tower.
Yeah, let's see them get this tower here. Oh, there's KSA going aggressive with those Pooty Poots. He's positioning really well. He's soaking up a lot of damage, but KSA needs to juggle the aggro just a little bit because you want to use your ultimate for your teammates,
right?
Not for yourself.
Exactly.
Because it's so clutch when you're able to ride. Oh my God, Tao's in a really bad position.
Yeah, Blaze submission though, and now he's setting up so his teammates can actually rotate over. He's got to watch out he doesn't get picked up by Yuzon though. And Kid's solo as well. Man, Yuzon so tanky, gonna make it out. KSA gets hit by the hissy fit, and he's barely gonna make it out of there.
What a nice juke by Yuzon there, going up and down that bush, and basically scaring away Taos because he knows he has enough burst damage to kill him. And basically his team rotates just to save him in time.
Yeah, and Chinese Taipei has done a much better job in these team fights and these engages. A lot of times it looks like Thailand Wildcard just a little bit out of position.
Yeah, you can see Crixie and Liliana are toe-to-toe with each other with their builds. Liliana building the more bursty build there. Tao's in a really rough spot.
Yeah, he tried to clear the way, but I don't think he's going to be able to survive here. Not with all those done stacking up. You see KSA and Kid a little bit late on the rotation, so that's going to be yet another tower for Chinese Taipei, but Romeo, he's sneaking on down here. He's going to try to make another push down this bot side lane. As you see in the top half, Chinese Taipei still trying to make that push up top, 3 versus 3.
Definitely have to respawn, but what a nice rotation by Chinese Taipei. But Neo just finished Omni Arms right after he killed Taos there. He has Omni Arms. That means his Lunar Champion is going to do so much more damage after using ability. It does extra burst damage. And look at that.
Diving.
Wow.
And here we go, KSA. This time, does he get it off in time to save Grui? No, he's early. And Romeo now coming in late again, but he might be able to close out Star here. He does. Nice C-Spear to slow her down and get the kill.
Yeah, look at that. That's stunned by Benny there. As soon as KSA came back to life, he had the Sunshine ready for him, stunned him, and then Romeo comes in to save the day and secure the kill on Star here. Both teams playing so well, but Chinese Taipei slowly getting more and more objectives out of these trades. Sometimes it's 1-to-1, 2-to-2 deaths, but they're the ones that are securing more objectives after each of these skirmishes.
Yeah, you see the Abyssal Dragon up there. This time, Chinese Taipei wins, not going to go for it. And this is something that Thailand Wildcard really needs. They need that Dragon, but instead, they're going to try to get the pick up here off of Wins, but they've got to be careful because Neil is rotating down. So is Benny. They're going in on Wins right now. Wins at half life, and he's getting slowed down. You can see they engage up there. Romeo. He's even trying to slow down Neil, but they're going to get Romeo.
Yeah, Romeo had his Gorlord off. The Sunshine couldn't stun him. The Alice Hissy Fit couldn't affect him, but Neil just has too much damage. Look at how much life he's recovering, too. His life steal is just insane as well. And as a result, Romeo was not able to kill him. You can see the amount of burst. Neil is fed. He has 3 tier 3 damage items. I caught it as soon as Omni Arms. And on top of that, Scud. Scud has Omni Arms out. Yuzon has as well. So that's a super bursty build there. That combo is going to be insane.
And here we go. They're trying to put more pressure on this high ground tower. And they've got 2 lanes pressed up. Can Thailand Wildcard hold this off?
Yeah, they're doing such a good job putting pressure on all the waves, not letting Thailand Wildcard get any type of map pressure anywhere. And as a result, they're just going to take all of the jungle and slowly starve Thailand Wildcard out. Because we know when Thailand Wildcard is equal in levels and items, they can definitely make plays. We can see Slims here has 9,000 gold, 4 tier 3 damage items. He can do a lot of work, but we haven't seen a lot of damage, a lot of outplays coming from Kit yet.
Yeah, we definitely have not. And that was a beautiful Ren into the Hissy Fit combination a second ago. But it looks now like Chinese Taipei gonna go for the Slayer. And Thailand Wildcard trying to catch him. But a beautiful Sunshine catches Taos and KSA. KSA getting dove on now with that Furious Charge over the wall. They're pushing him down super low.
Did you see the burst from Scud and Lindus? That's what Omni Arms does for you. That's why this build is so popular. KSA coming right back in. What's he doing?
He's getting crazy. He had his ultimate maybe. He wanted to get crazy. Got something started, but now he's going to have to retreat. Furious Charge is going to find its mark. You can see on the other side, Tao's getting caught outside. And now this is looking like a bad fight for Thailand Wildcard.
Wow, Wins there, getting killed by Kid, but Kid is going to be killed within Neil's range. And Drew, you're in trouble here.
Yeah, Drew is going to run for his life. You see the mischief coming out. He's trying to run though, but Neil is in pursuit. And there, another kill for Start. Oh my goodness. What a turn. Chinese Taipei, the triple kill for Neil and the ace.
Yeah, amazing, amazing fight. Back and forth there. But it came down to why was Thailand Wildcard engaging a team that's ahead? You want to fight more. They love to fight, but they're engaging a team that's ahead. As a result, they lost that fight. Kit was untouched. Neil was untouched that fight. Was able to get the kill on Kit, and that secured the team fight victory for Chinese Taipei and the game.
Chinese Taipei looking so strong there. That over-engaged. Such a crazy play. He was already low on health. He's like, I just want to land this big pooty poots. I see a group of heroes. I feel I can get a huge stun on everybody. I fled my being a bro. I'll come right back to life. But his team was a little bit too far behind him, right?
Yeah, exactly. KSA was like caught out. He's not caught out, but overly positioning. That's the key. And also, I didn't like Kit's positioning as well. They need to work together. They have a Slim's Flying Spear. They have a Pooty Poos. They have a lot of CC actually to knock up from Crixie. I've never seen that combo come out. And I think that's kind of their weak. They're forcing too many fights. Look at the lead though, the damage item lead. Scud is a damage machine as well. They're building full damage. They're the team that wants to engage you hard. And look at that. The Mage doesn't have the most damage, but the Lindis does. That just shows you how much work Neil was doing the entire game.
Yeah, you mentioned it before we got started. Neil versus Kid was going to be one of the questions coming in. You see Drewy also doing decent damage for his team up there with that Crixie. But man, oh man, that Neil and Yuzon combination was so buff.
Yeah, and I think Thailand Wildcard they have like a comp that wants to CC you, so they engage too much. They're overly eager with their engages.
Yeah, they definitely. This was very early in the game. You saw the early Pooty Poos were kind of effective, but then as the game progressed, it was less and less effective, and you saw K-State getting caught out more and more out of position.
Yeah, and that's the key there. Thailand Wildcard was behind, and they kept fighting. They had some good rotations. Chinese Taipei here getting a lot of kills underneath the tower, pushing objectives, and that's the key. Every time they had these fights, whether it's 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, Chinese Taipei was the team getting the objectives from it.
Yeah, and you see here, this was the last overengage. K-State comes back to life, but Yuzon Fierce Charge right back in there, holds him down. Tao's trying to get in there to disrupt a little bit, but everyone just starts falling left and right for Thailand Wildcard.
Yeah, we talked about it. If you use your Pooty Poots or you use your Being a Bro on yourself, that is not the win condition of teaming. I felt like they could have played a little more defensive, wait for it to get a chain CC stun because they have a lot of crowd control on Thailand Wildcard side. So I would like to see them play a little differently because if they keep this up and keep fighting into Chinese Taipei's win condition, I don't see Thailand Wildcard having a chance.
No, and the first game, of course, going to Chinese Taipei. You see the post-game breakdown here. KDA 15-9-36 in favor of Chinese Taipei. The goal leads about 7K, not unexpected this late in the game. Tower 73 though. That was one area where Thailand Wildcard was falling behind. They would get some kills, but they wouldn't convert it into anything else.
Yeah, exactly. And again, let's go back to the composition. Look at how it leads up because Kilgroth is the only person that can really get onto Lindis effectively, but the whole team is going to kite that Kilgroth. So Thailand Wildcard, they shouldn't have been engaging as hard as they should have. So let's see how game 2 is going to turn out.
Yeah, look at that Dragon lead, 5-0. That was crazy.
Yeah, definitely. See, they have their coach talking to them there.
A lot to think about.
Yeah, they said, you know, they played into the over. I feel like Thailand Wildcard, even though they said that Chinese Taipei is the more confident team, the overly confident team, Thailand Wildcard play a little overly confident.
They played
they're
super
behind.
overconfident.
They're behind it. They're the one posturing. They're the one trying to engage. Thailand in general as a region, they just love to fight.
Have you seen?
They love to just force fights.
Have you seen the teaming pick come out of Thailand Wildcard before? I feel like it might be something new for them that they had to pick because it was on the board and they didn't want to let the other team have it.
Yeah, normally Teamy is constantly banned. I mean, they never play Teamy in the... they only played Teamy once in their group stage, actually, and it was like Teamy Scud composition that worked really well for them. So the fact that they didn't have Scud, Thailand as a region just performs so well when they're able to get that Scud because they're the ones that introduced it in the boot camp. So I feel like their draft can maybe be slightly better, and when they do get a composition they're not used to, they need to play to the strengths of that competition. I felt like Slims didn't do as much with his positioning and his engagements as he could have.
Yeah, what do you feel about, I think it was Romeo with the Kilgroth spinning down to the bottom lane, or you were just pushing all the side lanes out, but he wasn't really there when they needed him for the team fights. He would always be coming in late to try to clean up, but no one was relatively that low.
Yeah, Kilgroth is a split pusher. That's what you want to do. He wants to distract. He's like an Omen, wants to distract the other side of the map, put a lot of pressure, just farm, push towers. So he was trying to do that, but the rotations from Chinese Taipei were just better because they got the kills. Every time he put split push, they countered split push and got the kill on the other side and basically lost the advantage and couldn't get the split pushing win condition.
So basically, well played.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so let's take a look. I think we got the scorecard up for Benny here. Benny, of course, the support over there on the Chinese Taipei side. Look at him right here. That is an impressive KDA.
Yeah, this guy, his KDA solid, but look at the number of assists.
54?
Benny, this guy's so smart. He's like the best at sunshine predictions. I mean, this guy like will throw a sunshine at where you gonna be. Like as soon as Teamy revived from being a bro, the sunshine came right there. He just knows the timing of everyone's abilities. He knows the limits of it. He knows exactly where to place that sunshine. It's a game changer actually, and Benny is just so impressive to watch. Definitely one of the best supports at the World Cup based on what I've seen so far.
Yeah, we've mentioned how the supports, like for example Thailand with his Moss, the supports played such a huge role in helping that team get to where they are, and now we're seeing the same thing out of Benny. And the interesting thing is, it's kind of the two same support heroes that we see out of them. We've got the Alice and we've got the Grak.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, we talked about the stats there. It's a jungle matchup. Neo just gets so ahead in farm, and Kit is the one that before going into this matchup, he had the highest gold per minute, and he didn't have that. So they have to get him onto Lindis, I feel. He's just so amazing on Lindis. So they have to get him on a hero that can scale really quickly in early game, because Slim's clear is a little bit slower than Lindis.
Right. I mean, she runs through brush faster. It's going to help her get around. And you see here the first ban coming out of Thailand wildcard side, going to be the Arum. And now let's see what is going to be their second ban. Superman, of course, coming out of the Chinese Taipei side. I have a feeling that we're probably going to see a Lindis ban come out of Chinese Taipei as this progresses, though, because I don't think they want to let Kit get it.
Yeah, there's Superman being banned. Ari being taken off. They don't want Yuzan to have it. Let's see if there's going to be follow the same bans with Zenio, right? We saw Zenio being banned. We saw Malik being banned. Are they going to let that Teamy go through and just give it back to Thailand wildcard? Because honestly, I would. I just beat, KSSA's Teamy. He was so overly aggressive. Omen being taken off from Chinese Taipei, banned off the entire battlefield. And let's see if the draft will be very similar to the last game.
And yeah, let's see. We got a couple more seconds here. 25 to go from the Thailand wildcard side. What is this last ban? Are we going to see the Zenio ban? Do they want to go the Teamy ban, or are they going to try to hold it for themselves? Get the Teamy again?
Yeah, I think they definitely need to ban Zenio or Malik. Whoever they don't want to do, if they first pick like Teamy, then they give like a Malik Zenio combination, that's going to be a crazy combo, or even Malik Alice is always seen. Oh, Lindis, what? You're going to ban Lindis instead of first picking it? But Kit is so good on Lindis.
Right.
Why? Why are you banning Lindis against your own player? It's so amazing on it. They want to maybe they'll first pick Crixie. Maybe Chinese Taipei will ban Crixie here, but I think Teamy will probably be the most likely ban. Teamy or Zenio will be the most likely bans here, and if they don't ban that hero, they'll probably take the other one.
So do you think Thailand wildcard is going to start off picking that support first, like the Zenio?
Yeah, Zenio or Teamy, I think. Unless they really, really want Crixie, but Crixie didn't really do much last game.
No, I mean, she was the highest damage two heroes for them, though.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, Zenio will be, and then they're going to take Teamy. They're going to give Teamy back to KSSA, which is smart, honestly, because it didn't really do as much. So Malik will be taken up, and potentially Scud. I would take Scud away. I would just deny Scud, but he may take Crixie instead. Crixie Malik here might be a good pick, but I think taking Scud away from Thailand wildcard is very smart, because Romeo is probably the best Scud player in the game. Yep, there we go. Scud is going to be taken off. Very nice draft so far by Chinese Taipei.
That's exactly how the draft went in the last game. They denied Scud from them. They banned the Omen. So
yeah, that's the key.
It's going to be so hard here for Romeo. The question here is what hero is Romeo going to go with? Are we going to see the Kilgroth come out again, or do you think he's going to try to mix it up?
Yeah, well, Kilgroth, I hope they don't play Kilgroth. It didn't really work as well. I'd love to see Lubu is still viable. He doesn't have the best win rate, but Lubu is still viable. I wouldn't pick Wonder Woman into this, because Wonder Woman is weak into a Malik comp. So yep, take the Arjun. Don't give him the Arjun Scud combo. And definitely take Crixie. I would take Crixie here. Yeah, there we go.
There it is. All right. So it sounds like they're on the same wavelengths as you over there.
Yeah, for the most part, just based on, after being a pro player, I understand kind of how they would like to draft. And being a coach too helps too, because I've done a ton of draft scenarios. So you have to think about what your matchup is. That's why no one really wants to play a Wonder Woman into a Malik. So this means they can pick Wonder Woman. Chinese Taipei can take Wonder Woman here because she is still a good pick. We also have Kilgroth, right? Open. We see some Chognar side lane, but I don't think they're going to do Chognar side lane into this composition. So they may pick up the Wonder Woman here. Ooh, okay, Slims will be picking up. If they pick Wonder Woman, that's a really good protection there for the Slims. Crack. Ooh, scary pick there. especially on Benny. Benny's crack is pretty scary.
Exactly. We were talking about it just a second ago. You know, Benny, very similar to Moss. They both got a killer Alice and a killer Grack, and this time wants to bring out the Grack.
Let's see if they're going to go with dive composition here. Maybe if they want, let's see what they've played before. They may play Violet. Violet is actually the hero that Thailand Wildcard has played a lot of. If they want to go dive, they can pick a Necroth, but I think it's really risky. I would just go with the Violet composition because diving... Oh, Finnick instead.
Whoa.
Ooh, Finnick Ryoma, okay.
Oh my God.
Zuka.
Tara. Maybe deny Yuzan is Tara.
They like playing split put. They want to put Romeo on like a really good split pusher like Kilgroth and Tara. Tara is a really strong split pusher. They're going to go back to the Kilgroth, which would make sense. You know, he can activate Gorelord and be immune to, you know, Malik and Scud CC and try to stay on that Slims. But he doesn't need a lot of support. And wow, they're going to switch it up and do a Zill jungle. We have not seen this at all during the World Cup. They are switching up and pulling out their trump card.
Yeah, they're trying to be a little bit more unpredictable here. Very curious choice. We've seen Yuzan use that Tara before as well. So now that they've left that Tara on the board, I'm curious to see if Yuzan will go to it. But he has a lot of other choices here as well.
Yeah, I mean, they could potentially go with Wonder Woman. She gives the barrier. You know, Zill does so much burst damage. He needs protection. If Zill gets on Slims, and he ults, Slims is dead immediately. So, oh wait, yeah, they already picked their side laner. So it's going to be a mage. So Flash is a pretty good pick because when Flash activates Cyclone, he cannot be targeted, so he can actually dodge the Tornado ultimate coming from Kit there on the Zill.
Yeah, getting me to understand they are going to go ahead and lock in that Flash pick. So this time around, things are getting mixed up just a little bit, but I think the key here, Thailand Wildcard's still going to have that teamie, which, you know, wasn't really effective for them in that first game.
Yeah, I love watching a really good Zill. The key is you got to land all your marks. You know, he does those win marks, his marks of the win. If he can get up to 3 stacks, he does so much more burst damage. So watch his positioning. He's basically going to throw out the wind blade, try to get those marks on the heroes. And once he gets like 2 or 3 marks, you jump in, you cast your ultimate, and you're going to do so much burst damage. And Zill, unfortunately, is a little weak early. He has to get his items, right? And then once he gets fed, this guy can delete, you know, squishy carries like Flash and Slims in one combo.
Well, let's see if Thailand Wildcard can get to that point of the game. I'm also very curious to see how Benny does with this Grack pick. One of the games finally we don't have an Alice out there. Feels a little odd.
Yeah, one thing is I would love to see Alice on Thailand Wildcard, but they already picked the teamie, right? So they couldn't do that because they're double mage. It's Zill and Crixie are mages, so they have to build Pierce. They got to get enchanted kicks because the medallions of Troyes are going to come out from Chinese Taipei. Scud needs to build it because Scud normally doesn't build a lot of defense. If he doesn't build a lot of defense, he can literally get bursted down by the Zill. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to counter build against each other. But looking at Thailand Wildcard, that's a lot of magic damage coming from their side. And Kilgroth normally doesn't build as much damage, so the attack damage won't be really... will be a lot of attack damage on Thailand Wildcard side.
Yeah, not much of a threat as far as attack damage is concerned up there, but they do have a lot of CC coming out of the Thailand Wildcard side, and it looks like we are getting into the first game. And here we go. All the teams, all the members again from Thailand Wildcard coming down, but you see Taipei rolling down the middle. This is exactly how they started that first game, and this time we might get a double jungle invade.
Yeah, they know they're strong because, again, Malik is so strong in the early game there with his cleave. And look at that. Benny and Yuzan are going to come. Look at Benny. What's he doing? Oh, he misses.
Oh, man, but Thailand Wildcard looking to get the kill here. Oh, my gosh, Benny, you crazy man. Oh, boy, he's getting chunked over there. And you see Kid getting on out. Benny takes a little bit of damage, not too bad, though. And, man, they're taking even more of the jungle on the way out of there. Romeo putting in some work on his retreat.
Yeah, pretty even so far. We'll see who's going to take the Vision Seagulls, because that kind of shows me who has a little more map control in the very beginning.
Look at these guys. Here, you want this Pooty Poots? Oh, but he's got 3 around him.
Oh!
Yeah, very dangerous for KSSA here. And you see Chinese Taipei, they were coming along with Benny. They were like, you know, if he tries to retreat, we're just going to hook him back in, and we're going to have 3 people behind him.
Yeah,
but nothing
Benny,
started.
though, used his hook a little too early. I don't know why he Devil's Chain point blank like that. I guess he was so irritated by the Pooty Poots. He didn't like that fart smell. He's like, get out of here.
Oh, my God.
So he should have saved that chain, and if he had that chain up, he could have pulled back KSSA and get the first blood, but decided to... Whoa!
Yeah, he loves this. The golden
wow, what is... Benny, oh my goodness.
Like, hey, come get this. Oh, they don't even take
Man,
the gold.
that is so, if I was playing ranked that happened, I would be so tilted right now. I would just tilt on max level. I'm like, you just stole my jungle creep, man. That is insane. Benny, man, making a show on his grack.
Yeah, KSSA, I mean, I can see why cracks on your mind with that Pooty Poots around. But KSSA wandering up here just to Pooty Poots to mid lane instead. And you can see now Chinese Taipei roaming through the bottom half, maybe coming out in towels, wins just barely missing that cleave. Benny, though, coming in. Is he looking for some chains, maybe?
Oh, look at this. He's going to have that pull up. The Ren comes up, and the pull is going to come out. Oh, and it Tao dodges it. Again, mind games with each other here. Nice positioning by Taos there.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, but he gets caught by that flying spear. And now, okay, retreats though. I was like, don't tell me the devil chains is cool down already.
See, one thing, again, Chinese Taipei, like I talked about before they started the matchup, they're better at river control. They're getting a lot more river. They're getting these rotations. They're winning the side lane, then invading jungle. Very textbook 101 pressure here. Side lane pressure, then jungle pressure. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to waste your opponent's time like this and just try to get some picks. And wow, look at that pull.
And man, the Moonfall coming out now. They're trying to turn on him here. And you see them turning in there. Benny in a little bit of trouble. Tao's a little over-engaged or out of position. Here comes the shot. And everyone out of there. But you can see there the first blood. No, Kid gonna get out. Beautiful stuff. Tao's, though, is gonna be the first blood instead. And Chinese Taipei Star gets it with Flash.
Yeah, Kit was level 4, but you saw his ultimate. It barely did any damage.
Oh, and Kit's in trouble. They're gonna dive here.
Yeah, he's gonna get dived on here.
Yeah, I thought Benny would take the tower aggro, but oh, Kid. You're down, my friend. That was a nice try with the blink, but no, sir.
Benny, you dirty, dirty grack. Look at that play. KSA, what are you doing? You're going to give another death over, my friend. Don't do that.
He wanted to just clear the wave.
Don't feed more. KSSA, you've been playing so aggressive game 1. What are you doing game 2? You know,
I don't know, man.
Learn from game 1. You're too aggressive, buddy. You're constantly getting caught, constantly getting hit.
Yeah. You see,
and you're not there. You're not there for follow-up. If he landed a Pooty Poots on the entire Chinese Taipei team, maybe that could have been different. But you saw Zil needs farm. If Zil doesn't get his items, he won't do much. His ultimate is not going to do as much damage. He's got to get Apocalypse, right? It makes all of his auto attacks do so much more damage. He's got to build damage. He's got to keep farming. Look at him right now. He's falling behind. 1.9 on the Slims versus Zil at 1.4. This is not looking good. You're an assassin comp. You want to get ahead of the marksman comp.
And KSSA right now, he's just feeling so aggressive. I don't understand it. It hasn't worked out from last game, and Benny is just so confident. He's like, I understand, you're going to land some Pooty Poots on me. This time, Star's in trouble, though. That Moonfall was just clipping him, but Benny dared to protect him. And the World of Power just in case.
Yeah, he activated his ultimate, so it's going to be down. Look at these pulls. Man, it's so scary playing against Greg.
Uh-oh, Romeo now, though. He's going to fall as well. And Chinese Taipei up to a 4-0 lead to start things off here. And they may even convert that into that top tower. They do.
Yeah, very, very well played here. Looks like the weakness against Thailand Wildcard is to take away their Scud. But good response here. They're going to take a Dragon for that tower, but they got to get back to Tier 2 tower. They're going to lose another tower.
Yeah, Chinese Taipei just continued. He's like, oh, you're going to go for that Dragon? We got a minion wave here.
That's not good.
Yeah, give me this Tier 2 tower as well. And Benny's rotating there just in case there was a challenge. But man, they are in trouble right now. Goal lead already almost to 2.5K.
Oh, the hook. Nice hook onto the Pooty Poots there.
Oh, but the big Moonfall combo. And Tao Wildcard is going to turn things around here. Benny's going to probably fall here as well. KSSA pushing up ahead to make sure they might get another pick. And there you go. That's one way to start turning things around for Thailand Wildcard.
That's how I want KSSA to play. Is go in and your team follow up with you like that. Land a beautiful Pooty Poots. Ooh, the Lance. No Lance over.
Oh, wind shift over. And you can see Neil is in trouble. Kid is diving like crazy here. Wind shift to get out. But you can see Star with the Mach Punch in. And he's going to clean up and tie it up 1-1.
But he has to be in a bro. He's going to get right back up. Kid,
oh my goodness.
He's going to get out to safety here.
Finally, the being a bro coming in handy. Very nicely done there.
Yeah, the one of the weaknesses of Zil is Tornado is everything. His ultimate is everything. It has such a high cooldown. 50 seconds and then max level 40-second cooldown. He needs items to get that cooldown lower, but once he uses it, he needs to back off and then kite the fight and then wait for it to come back up because that is his main source of damage. You basically want to go in, do a combo on someone that's low, get a kill, and you win that fight automatically and then come back in again. So that's one thing about Zill's playstyle is you got to be very precise and you got to target. As an assassin, you have to target the hyper carry. If you waste your abilities onto a tank, you're asking to lose.
And you can see right now, they're trading back and forth. The goal lead now is a lot closer because of those kills that Thailand Wildcard got. But the thing is, they did lose two towers on the top side. However, that is going to be where you've got Romeo to split push up with Kilgroth.
Yeah, look at Kit there, continuing to farm. He's catching up, kind of. He does have his Loki's Cursed Tier 3 jungle items, bidding him more damage. That's going to be looking good for Zil, but look at the Scud's burst damage.
Huge engage, and man, just deleted. And Drewy going to fall as well. 2 for none, make it 3 for 1. Did he have his being broke? He didn't want to pop it if he hit it. Chinese Taipei jumping up ahead there.
Yeah, that was insane, the amount of burst coming out. And look at this engage here.
Yeah, beautiful. Here comes the Cyclone. Tao's retreating. Benny very low. Kid, you got to get out of there, but he gets the kill on Neil before he does. Star trying to chase him down. Mach Punch just going to miss. Beautiful stuff. Kid out of there.
Kit doing such a good job. That's exactly how it's supposed to. You go in, you get the kill on a high target field, you back up, but look at what you use on Tater. Beautiful ultimate there, getting so much burst damage. Fierce Charge, Wild Beast 4 activates it, knocks those 2 heals, secures 3 kills, and then Kit coming in there and getting another kill. That's good for him because he's getting fed. Zil needs to get fed there. He has 3-1, so they're not behind yet, or not that behind, because only 1k gold difference for the most part.
Yeah, you see Romeo trying to assist here at that bottom lane. But really, Benny doing such a good job with the defense. And oh my gosh, Yuzan gonna fall. Kit now starting to ramp up.
Yeah, they gotta stop doing it. They're feeding Kit, and this is exactly what Thailand Wildcard wants. He's he's catching up in gold, getting more damage. And you notice, like I said, I called it, no Medallions of Troy. If you don't build Medallions of Troy against a Zil, your ass can get bursted in one combo.
Beautiful Devil's Chains on KSSA. Moonfall to try to help him escape. And again, man, that Crixie Flash combination, the Crixie Flash matchup is so fun to watch. Because either the Mischief comes out, then you see the super speed coming in from Flash, and now Romeo again. Split pushing to that bottom lane. And this has become more effective for Romeo, getting a lot more gold now. But Chinese Taipei turning around with his dragon. And here comes the challenge from Thailand Wildcard. The shot to try to close it out, push him out of the way. But no, the dragon going to go to Thailand Wildcard.
What a nice job by Romeo, getting the kill and then back in front.
Oh my goodness, Drewy. You almost got out of there, my friend.
Oh my God, Benny, the hook from death. The downtown, getting the pull. Crixie on Jury stands no chance and gets deleted. And look at the Scud, the burst in the
get over here. Oh my goodness, they let him pop his ultimate and just walks on away.
Wow, that was crazy. The fact that they didn't hit him, I mean, I thought they could have just hit him and made him revive there and kill him once he could revive, but they want to just let him walk away with its ultimate, proc. It's 3 seconds. You got to wait until 3 seconds before it doesn't proc, but interesting decision by Chinese Taipei there.
Yeah, they rotate down, get another tier 2 tower. Benny looking for picks, still doesn't get another one. But again, you can see even the Scud in the top lane still pushing on ahead. Right now, Thailand Wildcard are falling more and more behind. But that Zil is going to play a huge role as this game progresses.
Yeah, Zil got Apocalypse now. There's tier 3 magic. That is the item once Zil gets. He's going to burst some people down if they do not have magic defense. It gives 200 ability damage. That's a lot. I can't wait to see Thailand Walker can get back into this game if Kit plays properly here. And so far, his Zil has been super impressive.
Oh, without a doubt. And you can see KSSA and the Crixie in the middle lane. They're doing a very good job of dodging those hooks from Benny. He's trying so hard to pull him off that tower.
I like KSSA. He's playing a lot better. He's not overextending. He's not getting caught out. That's exactly what he needs to do. I would love for him to save his ultimate, though, not on himself. He has to make sure he uses ultimate, especially on Kit. If Kit gets revived, it gives him extra health, right? That's going to be critical to basically turning around a lot of fights. Like, Teamy is a late game like playmaker. He can turn around a fight instantly. If like 3 of your allies die, you activate that being a bro, they come right back in the fight, and boom, you win the fight.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm really pointing at you, KSSA. You are the reason your team's going to win or lose.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of pressure you're putting on him here. However, he did bring back that kid
He's a
once.
pro. It's okay. He can take the pressure.
He brought back that kid once, that Zil, and you saw him turn the fight that time. So it's a lot better this game than it was in the first game.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the key there. KSA was like a weakness in game 1. At the beginning of this game, he was a little of a weakness, but now he's playing a lot better. Maybe his teammates are giving him some feedback. But Kit has been really showing up on this Zil here. I want to reward a pick like that because we have not seen Zil jungle in a very long time. But it's very good into marksman comps because Slim is squishy. He's not going to build a Medallion of Troy.
No, exactly.
You need a Medallion of Troy. That gives you that little shield that basically counters the magic burst damage, but with Crixie and Zil doing so much magic burst damage, they can literally combo and destroy Neil in one ability combo together.
Yeah, and they still have to watch out for this. As this game progresses, Thailand Wildcard, they have so much CC to pop everyone up and get so much damage and stun everyone so that Zil can get in there to finish everyone off. But will we make it that far into the game? That's the question, because right now, of course, Chinese Taipei is taking so many of these tier 2 towers.
Yeah, definitely. And also, Scud's not building defense either, so they can actually destroy Scud as well. He wants to go in there a lot, so they can punish him.
All right, looks like the players are ready. It looks like we might be ready to go back into the game. And here we go. We're continuing on. 5-7. That is the kills right now. Chinese Taipei slightly ahead. They've also got 4 towers down. And oh my gosh, another hook from Benny on Taos, but no one else there to follow it up. We had the flag spear from downtown, just missing.
Remember, one thing on Talent Wildcard's side, they have a lot of good combos. I mean, Arjun has 2 CC, KSA has his Pooty Poots, right? Crixie has the Nature's Wrath knockup. They have some good combos they can execute on their end too.
Yeah, you see the Earthquake there to slow down KSA's escape. Gotta be careful here. And now the 2-man push out wins. He's got a shot to escape. I like it. But still a 3-man push at that mid lane tower now. Can Drew and KSA hold him off?
Yeah, you see Malik there has Frost here, has Good Agrees. Good Agrees does give some magic defense, but not that much. You can see how much damage Kid is doing.
Yeah, Tao's in trouble. Drewy trying to come up to save. Tao gets the Rand ultimate to try to get away. The Cole ultimate to get away.
Ooh, nice Moonfall there. Just making the team back off so they don't get a kill. But then Kit, again, he's taking the game away here. He's level 14. He's ahead of Neo. That's
crazy.
Amazing. That's really good here. Kit is going to take this game in the bag here if he keeps this up. And no one is building Medallion Troy except for Grak.
Yeah, this is going to be a key moment. Here comes Zil from behind here. He looks at Star. He's like, all right, never mind. I don't want to engage. A little scary.
They're
Benny's
all
around.
prime targets for Crixie and Zil there. I mean, only Grak, only Benny has Medallion of Troy. So that means, you know, all of them can be bursted down. Oh, Malik just finished it. Malik just finished Medallion of Troy as well.
Much better. Here's the Nature Wrath. They're getting a good chunk of damage on Benny here. They got to be careful they don't get reverse hooked though. And look at the shot trying to catch him off guard. Drewy barely get his fight. Not going to get it though. What a flicker there from Yuzon. The fight's still going down though. Tao's in trouble now. Kit though, you can't fight. He can't engage. His whole team is gone.
KSA wasn't there. He didn't have the ultimate up to save the day.
Oh my goodness.
Kit is going to go in there, but oh, it's not enough. Unfortunately, he's going to fall.
Yeah, he tried to go in there, clean up Neil, but man, oh man, that was not a good fight for Thailand Wildcard. Taipei running away with this game now, 11-5 lead, and they're going to go for the Slayer.
Yeah, positioning is everything of your support, and also Drewy kind of got caught out there, got so much burst damage onto him, and then Kid wasn't in that fight. They need to kind of group up and get into position and then fight, because if it's uneven like this and Chinese Taipei is constantly having the advantage, look at this.
Yeah, they had that early pick on Benny. They thought they had a good fight, but Yuzon just coming in, disrupting everyone, chasing down Drewy. And you can see Star coming from behind with so much damage. Taos tries to go in there, but man, just too little too late.
You can see there, he's not landing a lot of wind blades. You see the blade on top. He has to land a lot of those marks of the wind for Zil to do a lot more burst damage. And because he didn't have those marks up, Zil's not as effective. That is like his win condition there. But they're doing Chinese Taipei is doing a good job dodging a lot of those wind blades coming out.
Yeah, but Tan, Wildcard, everyone back up now. They're going to try to defend. And another nice pick from Benny with the Devil's Chains. Man, he's just keeping them on their toes. And you can see Romeo here, chunk so low, that low high ground tower, the bot lane one, already down to 20%. And another one, Kansas State, you're getting stuffed so much. The Pooty Poots are going to land though. They're going to get Yuzon with it. Benny in a bit of trouble here. Everyone else dumping in. Kansas State finally going to fall as well. And man, the cyclone comes out. Taos and Romeo have to retreat. And finally, the super speed gets him out of there. But here comes the shotgun underneath the tower as well. Neil chasing deep into the base. And Win taking some tower shots here. Romeo charging up. He's coming back in. He's got the C-Spear ready to go. Stars, though, chunking them. They're all so low. But oh my goodness, the second high ground tower now under attack from Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, look at this amount of damage. So much pressure. They may try to end this game here. They have all the high ground towers taken in one push here. They're going to back off now. That's probably the safe thing to do. But man, what a fight there. KSSA getting caught and pulled. And then using his being a bro, they didn't activate actually because they didn't kill him. And then Thailand Walker trying to turn around that fight, but the key was Neo was on the back line doing so much damage against Thailand Wildcard, and that's why they won the fight. They need to kill Will. The assassin needs to get on to the marksman for them to win these fights.
Yeah, I think it was a relatively close fight for Thailand Wildcard. Of course, though, the Slayer buff also in favor of Chinese Taipei. That 30% extra AD and AP, it's going to be a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it looks like, ooh, Neo has the Bow of Slaughter. That means he can get immense amounts of lifesteal when he activates that item there. And Romeo in a tough spot, so gotta be a little careful here. But Neo's gonna be harder to kill. No one has Cursed Death, and no one has the Tomb of the Reaper to counter all that regen. And he had just finished Muramasa. That is a lot of damage from Neo.
Yeah, in case they again, hook after hook, and Star coming in, shock landing as well. Kid and them get popped up. Drewy gonna fall from it. KSA, you're gonna go down to town. Taos, get back over here! Oh my goodness.
Wow, yeah. I am just in shock. Neo just won't die. He has so much lifesteal. This guy is not gonna die. He just bursts everyone down so quickly. This is gonna be the game.
Yeah, they're trying so hard. They're delaying the end of the game just by a little bit. But there you have it. Chinese Taipei gonna go up 2-0 in this best of 5.
Wow, who would have thought how decisive and dominating they are over Thailand Walker, the team that went all the way against the #1 seeded team Thailand in the AWC bootcamp. But we see that I think Thailand Wildcard has not grown as much from the bootcamp.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost to China 2-0. So in the group stage, so I think Thailand Wildcard has actually not improved as much as all these other teams. Korea, China, Chinese Taipei, and Thailand looking like the most powerful team right now from the group stages. So I think Thailand Wildcard really need to refocus here. But look at the build on Neo. So much damage. Still doing the most damage this game over Star as the marksman.
Yeah,
amazing.
You mentioned it earlier. Neil with that Slims was doing so much from the back line there. And Romeo with the split pushing on the kill growth, you know, I'm not convinced right now. 2 games in a row, it hasn't really worked out. KSSA with the teamie, 2 games in a row, hasn't really worked out. And here we go. This is back early in the game. You see the early pick there. Kit with that Zill was doing some good work there. But then Taos tries to follow up and gets the first blood for Star.
Yeah, and then that's the key. I mean, Kit had a chance. He played really well in the Zill here, but it's just the combos. The Chinese Taipei was just better at engaging, better at getting picks every single time. They're just better at positioning, getting picks.
Yeah, that
early,
was dirty.
mid, and even late game. They got that pull over the wall onto KSSA.
The flying spear and the double chains came from opposite angles. He had nowhere to go.
Look at this engager.
Yeah, this one is great. They thought they had Benny caught off guard, but no siree. And look at the chase there on Drewy. Yuzon going deep to make sure they got it.
I love what Yuzon. He flickered and then had the fierce charge back up, and boom, got the kill on Drewy there with that flicker. It was such amazing plays by Yuzon.
Yeah, and they weren't done there either. Kit was going to have to go down as well. They weren't done with anybody. Double kill for Neil.
Yeah, it's just they didn't have a Medallion of Troy on the Slims or Flash. Like, Kit could have literally insta-bursted them, but they just never had a chance to engage first. They're always engaged on it. If an Assassin comp gets engaged on with these pulls, then their win condition's gone, right? You want to have that engaged first. And look at that, the objectives. Thailand Walker actually got 3 Abyssal Dragons.
Yeah, last game it was 5-0 in favor of Chinese Taipei for the Abyssal Dragons. This time, Thailand Wildcard, they turned things around the Dragon front, but not on the Tower front, and definitely not on the KDA front.
Yeah, so they're playing a little better compared to game 1. This is a better game, so maybe the next game, don't ban Lindis, take it away, but I think Chinese Taipei might get the blue side. That was so interesting why they banned Lindis on their side.
Right.
I would have taken it on Kit, because again, Kit has an amazing Lindis.
I mean, maybe they were just convinced that they were going to get the Zill and that was going to be the turning point for them. But Chinese Taipei, they are chilling right now. They have a 2-0 lead. You see the players looking comfortable there. The coach, he's not even stressed out. He's not really talking to anybody. But over here, you know, you see these guys, Chinese Taipei, they're just comfortable.
Yeah, this is it, guys. Thailand Wildcard, this is it. It's 0-2. I've been in this position before as a pro player. A lot is on the line, their hopes and dreams. This is the first World Cup. You can see they're thinking a lot about it. They know they need to win this next game to stay in it. This is the knockout stage. Can Thailand Wildcard stay in this, or will they fall to Chinese Taipei in a decisive 3-0?
Yeah, of course, a lot of pressure in this situation. You don't want to go home, of course. You want to make it to that Chinese theater. And here come the first bans. It's going to be Arum from Thailand Wildcard. And it's going to be, of course, the Man of Steel Superman on the Chinese Taipei side.
Yeah, Grak being taken away.
They're taking away Grak. It's like, man, that guy, Benny.
Grak, man. I'm good. So please, get Lindis. Give Kit Lindis. This is your chance, guys. This is your last game. You need to win to stay in it. You know your opponents want it so bad. They want to move on to the semifinal. They're representing their region as well.
Yeah, of course.
Omen being taken off here.
Thailand already repping the region, already qualified. But how cool would it be to have 2 of your region in that top 4? Omen, of course, taken off the board, as you mentioned. What is going to be this last ban for Thailand Wildcard? Will it be the Lindis? Will they try to pick it?
Yeah, maybe they're going to take away Zenio or Malik here. Zenio is a very popular ban, or just take away the Teamy. And honestly, Teamy has not made a difference in 1 or 2.
I agree.
Maybe you want to give Chinese Taipei that Teamy and then play the Lindis into it, because it's worked against you.
I say ban the Teamy and I'll just say ban the Teamy and hope you get the Lindis. But no, again, they're going to ban the Lindis.
Don't keep the same draft, guys. I mean, they did ban the Grak though, so they did change it up slightly.
Maybe Kit's going to go to Violet this time.
Yeah, I would love to see him, but he actually played Violet extremely well. There's Zenio being banned. Are they going to take the Malik here, or are they going to take the Teamy? They're going to take Teamy again.
Oh, no. I mean, you know what though? The team has gotten better
Teamy-
game after game.
Teamy is a tier SS support. He's very strong. So look at it. They immediately take Irie and Malik, the two next strongest side lanes.
Oh boy.
With that, you can't pick Wonder Woman into that. Pick Scud though. They can get Scud here. Scud is not banned, not taken. Take the Scud and take Crixie. Take a key mage here, or Flash. But yeah, Crixie and Scud. Definitely pick up the Scud here because Chinese Taipei probably won't take the Scud, but if they don't take Scud here, they can play a Malik support, and we've seen that before.
I would rather see the Scud, and there it is. Yeah,
take the Scud, secure the Scud. Now they have a nice winning chance.
All right, and here comes the Slims again. We've seen that so effective. Will they get it again? That is the question. Chinese Taipei, they're really thinking about it. Who else would Chinese Taipei like to go to? They haven't picked their support yet.
They'll probably take the Flash.
Alice.
Yeah, Alice, Flash. They'll probably pick the Flash here because Flash just worked out so well for them.
Yep.
Alice is really great with Slims. You know, you have the Flying Spear stun. You have her Sunshine stun. Ari, oh my God, their competition
That's just getting ugly, actually.
But Thailand has CC too. Thailand has all CC. Nature's Rat. Scud has 2 CCs. I would love for Thailand to take Arjuin. Take Arjuin and take Violet.
Okay.
Maybe they can do Fennec. Yeah, they can. Maybe.
I'd rather see Arjuin and Violet.
Yeah, Arjun and Violet. They play Violet. I've seen Kit play Violet really well.
Yeah, same.
So, because again, Alice is just Alec and Malik and Ari are really good at countering engage comp because they have ultimates that just will shut you down if you try to engage. So, very smart pick here. Pick up that Violet. We've seen Kit play Violet so well, and then Romeo is going to be in that Scud, and then potentially the other side laner. Maybe they'll do a kill up with Arjun. No. Arjun would be better.
I agree, but you know, whenever you see that Alice, some teams have tried the Chognar to counter it.
Yeah, but Chognar is okay as long as you get Violet to late game, and Chognar can just protect her against. Yeah, Chognar might be picked here because they have played some Chognar. So let's see if that's gonna come out. But I would love to see Arjun instead. Because they're both dominant side laners. Oh, they're gonna Wonder Woman into Malik. Don't do that.
Oh boy.
Okay.
And tell us again why that's a bad matchup. I've heard
because
plenty
Wonder
of times
Woman loves
the melee.
to go tanky. The tankier she gets, the more that's kind of her build, her kit. Malik does true damage. He can easily out-trade her and out-pressure her in lane, and he basically gets so much better. Soul Eater, Cleave, and then every time he lands that Cleave, his auto attacks do true damage. So it just cuts through all the defense Wonder Woman builds, and basically that's why he can out-pressure her, out-rotate her, and win lane against her.
What if you swap the lanes though? So you send the Wonder Woman at the Irie.
Exactly. That's
and you send the Scud at the
That's
Malik.
what you want to do against a mismatch in the lane like that. So you definitely want to swap the matchup and put Wonder Woman against the Irie.
Well, that sounds like a semi-decent plan here.
That might happen. Yuzan is on Slims, and Neo is on Irie. Oh wait, it's a jungle Irie? No. Okay,
No. Yeah, I was to say they're mixing us up over there. I was like, come on, man. Yuzan's Irie is sick.
You can jungle Irie if you want. It could work. Could work.
I believe in her.
But this is it for Thailand wildcard. They have to stay focused here.
Yes.
A lot is on the line for them. They cannot go out defeated 3-0 like this.
I mean, they're in the top 8. They've made a little bit of money. They've qualified to make a little bit of money so far. But you want to get up to that stage, that top 4, where that $200,000 is sitting for first place, $100,000 for second. That's where you want to try to be.
Yeah, it can go one of two ways too. Some teams can come back. They can reset mentally and just come back and just reverse sweep. We've seen reverse sweeps happen. So let's see if Thailand wildcard can get their heads back into the game here and really execute and win against Chinese Taipei.
Right, so here you see the full team compositions. Crixie, Wonder Woman, Teamy, Violet, and Scud for Thailand wildcard. Alice, Malik, The Flash, Slims, and Irie for Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, they gotta get Violet to the late game, gotta get Caitlyn to the late game. But again, I'm so scared about the Irie, Slims, Alice combo. We've seen Chinese Taipei, they just engage better, they get into position. It's so scary when they combo, and I feel like Thailand wildcard needs to position better to avoid those combos, and also they need the combo back. They need to fight better back because they're a team fighting region. Thailand loves to fight.
Oh yeah, and you see there, oh my gosh, long distance flying spear and Taos with that Wonder Woman putting in some early work. But man, Chinese Taipei definitely got the better of that little skirmish.
Yeah, definitely there. The nice counter engage by Thailand wildcard, pushing him, hey, you want to go in my jungle? I'm coming for you. I'm going to push you right out.
Man, and Benny ate a big pooty poots there. Took a lot of damage. but I don't think he's actually going to recall.
Yeah, every time Chinese Taipei, they take the Vision Seagull. That just tells me they have early game. Look, Malik is completely pushing Wonder Woman. Look at bottom lane.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder Woman can't do anything. Malik can just push her out easily and out-pressure her. And that's why it's a mismatch. You don't want to put Malik against Wonder Woman in Dragon Lane because you're going to lose a Dragon Lane. You're going to lose Dragon Lane and you're going to lose Dragon Control.
And see Romeo here charging in there against that Yuzon, but you saw Yuzon's KDA on the screen a second ago. He's at 4.62. That's pretty darn high.
Yeah, he forced Yuzon to activate his heal and had to use the healing glyph behind the tower there. So Romeo is winning his top lane at least.
Yeah, it's a decent start at least for Thailand Wildcard. A glimmer of hope. But this game again very early. As we mentioned, Chinese Taipei up 2-0, but not uncommon to see a full reverse sweep.
Yeah, Romeo is a monster on Scud, though. He might change this game with his Scud play. I mean, this guy is so good on the Scud.
We've been waiting for it.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it. I can't wait to see what he's going to do on Scud here.
Yeah, and you can see now Chinese Taipei getting caught out at first blood, going to Kit's Violet.
That's exactly what you want to do, Thailand Wildcard. This is your last game. Let's go hard. Let's go and defeat Chinese Taipei here and give us a show.
Yeah, exactly. And now look, they're immediately going to rotate to this Abyssal Dragon. Wins, trying to spear. No.
Ooh, Kit with the secure on the Abyssal Dragon.
I like the attempt to spear from Neil a second ago, but, you know, it's hard to do. There's 4 other people hitting at that dragon.
You're going to put pressure on the bottom here. Nice. But you can see Malik is just so tanky. He's so good at protecting and clearing wave. His wave clear is really good with the AoE cleave, and his wave clear is so good.
Yeah, and you can see here Romeo, he's starting to just clear out that jungle. He's looking right now. He's like, hey man, where'd Yuzon go? I want something to do up here.
See, this is exactly what Ahri does. Yuzon is playing so well. That's Ahri's so slippery. She can just use Shadow and just dance across the map. And look at that. They take the blue just like that, and then she's going back away. Shadow can be casted 3 times, so she can just dance around the map.
Yeah, she's in and out of there super quick. And now KSSA being a little brave here.
Yeah, definitely. Romeo did get a few punches on that tower, though, but look at this invade.
Uh-oh, Hissy Fit. Slowing him down. He's going to take more magic damage. Here comes Neil with the spear. Not going to do enough. You see the Cyclone down there on Kid as well. Man, they're fighting all over Kid. Are you going to survive? He's barely living, but he is probably going to fall. Wind's chasing him here. Can't get him with the cleave either. Kid surviving. And over the wall, he survives. Unbelievable. And Star now coming up behind. Beautiful. Nature's Wrath to stop Star's push as well. Thailand Wildcard staying alive. Unbelievable. Nobody goes down.
That was insane. The arrow is so low. Kit barely survived and dodged that cleave from Winds there. Wow, and KSSA, he's kind of out of position. He does land a huge putty push, but look, Kit's in trouble. No one's protecting him.
Yeah, look at him. He was so low. He just barely dodged that mischief. Yeah, KSSA, he was the only one who went down, actually. He was up there. He was super low. But look at Kid here. Last second out of there. Beautiful roll.
Wow.
And man, oh man, 1-1 is the kill count here. And Thailand Wildcard with a tiny gold lead to start things off.
Yeah, I would like their rotations and movements be a little tighter. I mean, I love what Thailand Wildcard was trying to do. KSA is trying to get into that bush. So honestly, it's not his fault in that area. He was in the right position to contest the red, but his team needs to rotate with him. So either need to wait for him or they need to catch up with him.
And you see here, they're turning out Winds instead of focusing on that Abyssal Dragon. And here comes Neil and Benny. The Shocks didn't get him out of there. Now Chinese Taipei have a chance to try to challenge for this Dragon. The Dragon's getting relatively low. We'll see if they come back in here. It doesn't look like they're going to come to it. They might try to snipe. They're not going to get it. Second Abyssal Dragon, again, to Thailand Wildcard.
Yeah, looking good so far. It's almost 5 minutes, and Thailand Wildcard is not behind. They're slightly ahead. It's going to come down to how they engage. And look at this. Oh, my
big
goodness.
Cyclone. Yuzon going to take out Drewy.
Wow. I mean, man, Chinese Taipei is so good.
Romeo, though, chasing it with that Furious Charge. He's going to get Yuzon right back. And the big flying spear, and the Mach Punch out of nowhere. Oh my goodness, the damage. Pooty puts a little bit late. Did he get the being a bro? He did. Kid's back up, and now they're turning things around. Benny in big trouble. Star's in trouble. But Romeo now, he's got to get out of there. Does he have a charge? He doesn't.
No.
Star gets the kill on him as well. Beautiful exchange there, but KSSA unable to save everybody, and Thailand Wildcard loses 1-0 there.
What a great being a bro, though, reviving Kit like that. But man, that gank in mid lane, that was nasty onto Drewy there. Drewy just didn't stand a chance, but you see how Chinese Taipei is engaging. They are so good at landing these crowd control, the flying spear, and then the stun combo, and then boom, Crixie just melts and just disappears. That's exactly what I want to see Thailand Wildcard do back to Chinese Taipei. They need to combo a little better and be in position.
Yeah, regardless though, the goalie is still slightly in favor of Thailand Wildcard. And again, no one got in the tower yet. This game, everything on the line. Everyone playing a little bit safer. And Yuzan landing that stun there, and then now wandering away. He's going to say, what else you got in this jungle for me?
Yeah, let's see. They're waiting for a pick in mid lane, mid in the river here.
Yeah, there might be another engage there soon. Neil just clearing out the jungle. It looks like the action happening in mid here. Oh boy, here comes them diving on wins. Neil right behind him though. And they're fighting right below us. Big shot goes down to close it out on him. Did it get the spawn? It did get the Bino Bro, but Kid's still gonna go down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there. The Bino Bro was activated and they waited for the right moment.
Goodness.
3 seconds later, then you kill Kid. Bino Bro is not gonna save him. Wow, what precise play by Chinese Taipei here.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. 3-for-0 exchange. And as this game was close, it is no longer close. Chinese Taipei starting to run away with it, and now pressuring that mid lane tower and the bot lane tower.
It comes to this engage again. They just know who to engage and who to focus. Again, look at positioning, right? There are 3 things I look at: position, focus, and combo. And honestly, Chinese Taipei is doing those 3 steps so well. They're getting into position every time and getting these picks.
Yeah, they've been much less concerned about getting these Bissell Dragons until they have a huge opening like this to get one finally on their side as well. And now you see Chinese Taipei just pushing up, to clearing out more of the way, but now another fight up top. The Moonfall is going to get him, and this time they're finally going to answer back and get Benny.
Nice. One thing though, Romeo is following me. He's level 8 versus Yuzan. Yuzan's level 9. He's been dancing around, stealing the enemy jungle. And Romeo just turned level 9 here, but if Yuzan gets ahead, and this is good. They're putting pressure on him there. Now they're trying to like not let him get, because when Ari gets ahead, that's a very dangerous thing for the Crixie and the Violet.
Yeah, and they're fighting up there again right now, it looks like. And a nice mischief there on Star. But Romeo chunking down that Yuzan Irie. And you see the Pooty Poots maybe coming out. No, instead has to use the re-ultimate to escape.
Yeah, use the re-ultimate to get out of there, and then Neil's going to put so much pressure. That build, if he gets that build he got last game, it's GG, man. That is a nasty Slims build with the Slick Stings and the bow of Slaughter. Just so much burst and damage.
Mach Punch into this Cyclone, tons of damage. Are we going to see a Pooty Poots? Romeo goes down. Hissy Fit is there to deny K-Set, but oh my gosh, it doesn't even matter if you're being a bro. Everyone is there and you're going to fall.
Yeah, again, such good rotations. 4-man getting the kill. Again, every time they do these rotations, they get something for it usually. Chinese Taipei is doing a good job converting these rotations into objectives and kills.
Yeah, look at this little chunk of the Mach Punch, and then of course the Cyclone. Romeo in big trouble. You see Kid say he had to pop to being a bro, but doesn't matter. And now Chinese Taipei going to convert that into a Slayer.
Yeah, the timing of the being a bro was really, really good there. And then look, they're going to take Dark Slayer to give them complete map control for the next 1 minute and 30 seconds of that buff.
Yeah, this is
Thailand wildcard, man. They got to get back in this game, guys. This is your last chance to stay in it.
Yeah, things were looking good for a moment there, but man, I would like to see them team fight. You know, you see Kid on that Violet, he's doing much better than his previous games as well.
Yeah, they're waiting to get engaged on. They gotta get in position. They gotta be. They have Scud. They have a Teamy. They have a Wonder Woman. They have to dodge that CC and then just counter engage. Because right now they're just waiting to get CC'd, and then Chinese Taipei just follows up completely on it.
And here they might think about going to engage on Yuzan here, but instead they just let him have the Spirit Sentinel. And I see them wandering on down to mid. You saw the Sunshine there, so they don't actually know that KSSA is waiting in that brush.
Yeah, they got to be careful. Remember, Chinese Taipei has the Dragon Slayer buff. They got to be careful and not try to force a fight here, because they're going to lose with that damage buff.
Yeah, they have all 5 members here. They could go in 5-on-3, but no, not going to get a chance to. Beautiful rotation now.
No, they're going to get a free tower. Unfortunately, the rotation is not fast enough to stop that wave push on the bottom. Really nice rotation by Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, now they're working their way back to the middle. No minions for a while, though, so Thailand wildcard have some time here.
Yeah, nice job. They got to hold on to that tier 1 mid tower. The fact they have it up still in 10 minutes is pretty good. They got a turtle. Wait for this Darksaber back. Wear off here.
Yeah, look at the beautiful space. The shot comes in though on Drewy, and then there's the Moonfall to follow things up. Romeo trying to retreat, but man, oh man, KSSA trying to stay in there to be a bro, but he's gonna go down as well. And Tao's now, can you make it out there? They're diving down. They don't care. They do not care. And Kid now falling. The tower's falling. Star chunking Kid with that super speed into the Mach Punch, and now they're pushing on the high ground tower.
Yeah, Teamy did not get, KSS did not get his Bino Bro off for himself. He gets caught, gets killed, and then Tao's also then gets focused next. And look,
they're not done yet, but beautiful Nature's Wrath stops them. And another high ground tower gonna fall, the first one at least.
Yeah, this is devastating. And the pause comes out, but wow, Chinese Taipei, again, just being a Morgan. I love how they came in there. Malik coming in there with the shock. in between the towers, splitting up Drewy, pushing him away so that the wave can come safely to push the tier 1 tower. Again, just super precise strategy from Chinese Taipei, and then the focus has been amazing. Focus onto KSSA, who's out in front usually, make him, can actually kill him before he activates his being a
Right.
pro.
I mean, I think that
And that
time
was
too, you know, I think he saw Drewy out there, I think it was. So he went out there to like say, I'm going to try to be a bro and get you up. But then Drewy got out of there, or whoever it was, and then he just fell by himself. It's like, oh, bummer.
Yeah, everyone, when Malik came in with a shock ultimate, they should have just focused on wins, because when Malik does that, he has no escape, right? The tower is in the top. They could have just focused Malik and maybe killed him and then basically stopped another tower or stop this kind of fight from playing out where it did.
Yeah, I think we have a replay of this actual last base fight. So let's take a look at it. And you can walk us through it a little bit.
Yeah, because Wynn's in a bad position right now. They all need to focus him, but they try to, but he's just too tanky, actually. And that's unfortunate. KSA is going to fall. Tao's going to fall next, but look at the amount of focus onto him. The whole team is so synergized in their engages.
Yeah, and you see them here not stopping. Look at Kit, that super speed Mach Punch took off so much damage on him. And here comes Roman to try to defend against this tower. He's deep there. And look at him just getting eaten up.
Yeah, he's, again, Scud doesn't build a lot of defense. They build him in a way that he wants to engage really hard.
Right.
But it's just the way that Chinese Taipei is engaging. It's putting Thailand Walker in a really awkward position. And again, Chinese Taipei always has the position advantage when they engage.
Yeah, and a lot of times, you know, they will build him so that they want him to engage, but he's just split pushing all the time. You know, he's not there when the team fights actually start off.
Yeah.
You see the players there. It looks like they're ready to go back into it.
Ooh, nice combo. Oh my goodness. There goes Romeo.
Yeah, just like that. And Kit there so low in the back. The moonfall not going to help him out. KSSA extremely low as well. Brings back Kit. Lovely stuff. But that looks like it might be the core. But no, it's not yet. They're still focusing, and Tao's going to fall. Last chance here, Thailand Wildcard. What do you got?
Tao did a good job clearing out that wave and sacrificing his life. The Wonder Woman falling for the wave, so the game does not end there. Thailand, the next fight is going to determine it. This is do or die. This is your chance to stay in or get knocked out.
Yeah, minion waves already pushing in on the core. Chinese Taipei just clearing up the farm, getting a further goal lead. And it is not looking good here for Thailand Wildcard. You see Neil, he's just going to solo this dragon. And now you see Thailand Wildcard, they're looking to that jungle. The Irie Yuzan, he is up there, and Drewy gets caught out. Moonfall to try to escape, but not going to make it. And Yuzan using those shadow dashes to get out of town.
Drewy, wrong place at the wrong time. This is not what you want to do when you're behind like this, because all of Chinese Taipei is going to be up and they're going to put pressure. They're going to split. They need to organize the waves and have all three crashing into the base of Thailand Wildcard here.
Yeah, and respawn time is at above 30 seconds now, so not the right time for this to happen for him. Great pick there by Yuzan.
Yeah, the only way they can come back is if Chinese Taipei makes a mistake, and the way that they're playing, they're not making any mistakes.
Seems unlikely. Look at that beautiful sunshine.
It's a small mistake there. They normally combo that together as a team.
And then there's a spin stun as well. No. And now the hits fit under, and they're going to go in. Here comes the shock as well. And Kid so low, the Cyclone's going to take him out. KSA way away from him. He's trying to stay on the tower, but he's going to fall. He had to be a bro, though. He brings back Taos. Taos, though, can you stay alive? I don't think so. And the last chance here, Drewy, what do you got? You got a Nature's Wrath for us, but here's some super speed and hissy fit. You're dead too. And that will be the series. Chinese Taipei gets everyone down, and that'll be the core. GG, Chinese Taipei over Thailand Wildcard.
Wow, look at them celebrating. Star was the star of that fight. He came in the back line, got Kit, and killed Kit with Flash. And look at Thailand Wildcard. This is their chance, and it's shot.
Yeah,
they will not continue. They are knocked out. They will have to cheer for their sister team Thailand in the semifinals. And Chinese Taipei proud to represent their region after their sister team was knocked out by Team Thailand here. So that means Thailand and Chinese Taipei will be represented in the semifinals.
Yeah, so both of the wildcard teams being eliminated as we make our way to the Chinese Theater next week for the top 4.
Yeah, and that's going to be a crazy live finals at the TCL Theaters. Make sure you guys get your tickets and watch and look at the damage. MVP, deservedly so, to Star there. He definitely showed off why he wants to be the best mid laner in the world with that flash play.
Yeah, those super speeds across the entire front line, gets to the back line, unleashes that Mach Punch, and then just super speeds his way right back on out of there.
Yeah, definitely. Again, their synergy, their engages, their positioning, looking so solid. Chinese Taipei here, a true contender for that World Cup championship.
Yeah, I definitely believe it. Of course, Benny, such a great support on his Alice or his Greg. Doesn't matter. Look at that hasty fit right there. You see the stuns coming out. You see Kid getting dove on right there with that cyclone win to close it out. This was a crazy clutch escape by Kit, though.
Yeah, definitely there. And then Romeo's flickering over the wall. Kit surviving, but KSSA falling. A lot of debts to his name in a lot of these games here, unfortunately, for the Team E. And look at the engages by Chinese Taipei. Every single time, they're just in sync with each other.
Yeah, they saw an opening there for Kit. Use the shock to get in on him and then clean up the Wonder Woman as well. Chinese Taipei, the rotation, their team fight, just so good.
Yeah, this was the best game for Thailand Wildcard, though. They had the early game lead, and then they just lost it with some key fights in the mid game. And it just shows you the rotations from Chinese Taipei. And we talked about it before the match started. Chinese Taipei is better in that early game, better with those rotations, those objectives. But Thailand Wildcard definitely gave a fight.
Yeah, they definitely gave a fight, but it wasn't enough. Chinese Taipei, 8 towers to 2, tied up on the Abyssal Dragons and the Dark Slayer. That was just a rough set for them. Chinese Taipei, they're making me a believer that Team E is not ban-worthy. 3 games in a row, Team E ineffective?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But it sounds like we do have an interview with Matt right now with Chinese Taipei.
Thanks, Rip. Sujay, great work there as we find another one of our semi-finalists, and it is Chinese Taipei. Congratulations, Neil. Both of the wildcard teams are out now then. The fan-voted teams, they're done. Chinese Taipei follow Thailand through to the semi-final. So, Neil, what I want to know, that game there, we were really excited to see you against Thailand wildcard, but not everybody thought it would be 3-0. Was it easier than he expected?
你们刚刚打泰国外卡队有比你想象中觉得简单吗？
就跟团练一样，没有比较简单。
He says it's the same as their scrimmages with the Thailand wildcard team. It's not easier than he expected.
Okay, yeah, the two regions did put quite a lot of scrim work in beforehand. So you are going to be going to our finals at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. You're going to get to step out onto the stage with a live audience there, and make sure you come and join us. Get your ticket if you don't already have it. How excited is he to be representing the region after their wildcard team got knocked out yesterday?
好，继昨天台湾台港澳外卡队被淘汰之后，你们对于就是进入4强有没有什么样的感想？
就很兴奋啊，因为第一次打世界赛。
He's very excited because it's his first time in an international tournament.
First time in an international tournament. Well, you look like you might be going all the way. They've got Korea in the semi-finals. That's our first confirmed semi-final matchup. Korea and Chinese Taipei have an interesting history in the boot camp. You lost to them in the group stages. You beat them in the semi-finals. How does he feel about Korea as his opponent?
你们下一场已经确定在4强赛中对到的是韩国队，你们有什么样的跟他们对打有什么样的看法吗？
就应该也是跟团练一样，没有什么大不了。
He thinks it'll also be the same as the scrimmages with Korea because they practice with them quite a lot. So he doesn't think there will be any surprises, but we'll wait and see.
Okay. Thank you, Neil. Any surprises? Well, we've had a few turn up during this tournament. Maybe a little bit of a surprise will turn up for our semis. Chinese Taipei turn up. They are through to the semi-finals next week at the TCL Chinese Theater. That's one confirmed semi-final. There you have it. They will face Korea. And remember, those semi-finals onwards are a double elimination tournament. The 4 teams who make it to our grand finals, it's double elimination from that stage. So everybody gets a second chance to come back and try and make it to the final, where they could win that $200,000 US prize pool prize that's going to the winner. Our next game, our final quarterfinal. So far, we've had 3. They've all gone 3-0. Is this one going to go 3-0? It is China against Vietnam. Feels like this one might be the real scrap then of all of the quarterfinals. So don't go anywhere. China against Vietnam is coming up next here at the Arena of Valor World Cup.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to introduce Batman. Batman is an assassin superhero who depends upon his ability to deal explosive levels of damage. Batman is able to weave in and out of battle by himself and break down enemy ranks. Passive skill, Caped Crusader. Batman bends himself to the shadows. He will gain a 20% increased movement speed when he nears an enemy hero. However, this speed boost will disappear should he leave with his back turned to the enemy hero. So Batman is able to rely on this speed boost effect to easily hunt and slay enemy forces as they flee while low on health. Skill 1, Forearm Strike. Batman releases a quick blade that deals damage to nearby enemies, followed by a second attack against a random enemy next to him, dealing the same quantity of damage. This is an area of effect skill, and the second attack preferences striking enemy heroes. His first skill is certain to deal grief in 2 stages to the enemy when he faces only one enemy hero. Skill 2, Batarang. Batman will throw out a batarang that damages enemies and reduces their movement speed. This is a straight line area of effect skill that, after 3 seconds, will also cause enemies to suffer physical damage equivalent to 24% of the HP they just lost. If enemies who have suffered from Batman's second skill are struck again by Batman within 3 seconds, they will become dizzy and enable Batman to restore some of his HP. Deal a lot of damage after you just release the second skill during battle, and you'll boost the damage you inflict after 3 seconds to its maximum extent. Skill 3, Dark Knight. Batman uses his natural affinity with bats to make himself invisible after 1.5 seconds. This skill will last for 30 seconds, during which time, if it is released again, Batman will appear and launch an attack in your designated direction. This skill has a line-based area of effect. If you are invisible and wait next to the enemy for more than 3 seconds, this will dispel the invisibility at a slightly greater range than for the skill. Of course, Batman will also dispel his invisibility if he inflicts damage on enemies. In any case, enemies further away from Batman will start to notice something is amiss when he is invisible, and an alert will appear over their heads. So you have to grab the opportunity once your third ability makes you invisible. Get close to enemies and then release all your skills on them. Typically, Batman will damage enemies using his second and first skills together. One use of Batman's second skill is sometimes enough to take out an enemy when they are low on health. Should Batman not be doing very well, he can activate his third ability to slip away from the field easily. Batman would normally first use his ultimate to hide himself in the shadow. Then, after getting close to his enemies, strike with his second skill and unleash all his skills in a quick flurry of takedowns. Of course, you can also reserve his ultimate for a second release, and it may get used again as enemies flee. In summary, Batman possesses super rating skills and can easily deal explosive damage for a win. Thanks for watching today's Hero Spotlight of Batman. See you next time. Hi everyone, the hero we are introducing today is Superman. Superman can crash enemy team formation as a warrior or can quickly finish enemy targets when they are running low. Speed is power. If you are not a tanky hero, then whenever you see a Superman flying, stay away from him. Passive Flight. Superman has 2 modes, flying and walking. He gains 2% movement speed and charges energy for every 100 units he walks, and takes flight once energy is fully charged. Flight mode grants 20% movement speed when moving towards an enemy, and his normal attacks deal additional damage equal to 12% of his own maximum HP. Superman exits flight mode when he is hit with a control effect that lowers his movement speed to 375 or less. Superman's passive is the key to deal high damage, so make sure he can be in flying mode as frequently as possible. To make sure he can take off quickly, a recommended item is Gilded Greaves. It can prevent Superman from being slowed down. first ability, Kryptonian Strength. Superman uses his ice breath to generate a blizzard that deals physical damage to enemies and slows their movement speed by 50% for 1 second. If in flight mode, Superman rams into enemies, dealing 12% of maximum HP physical damage, and then fires his heat vision, dealing an additional physical damage. Superman's main ability to deal damage, it is recommended to level up first. If Superman is in flying mode, the first ability can also knock back enemy targets. That being said, you can now get behind enemy's team and push them to your teammates or tower. Second ability, Man of Steel. Superman unleashes his full power, which immediately frees him from control effects and significantly increases his movement speed. If in flight mode, Superman will slam the ground and knock back enemies, dealing physical damage as well as rid himself of control effects and increase his movement speed. Although Superman's second ability can boost movement speed, but due to its long cooldown, it's not a good idea to use it at first. Try waiting for enemies' control abilities, then unleash Man of Steel to offset them. Ultimate Speeding Bullet. Superman taps into his full potential, which increases his charge-up speed by 100% for 10 seconds. If in flight mode, Superman will ram into his enemies and knock them back, dealing physical damage, and have his charge-up speed increased by 100% for 10 seconds. While flying, Superman's ultimate is a crowd control ability. He can use it to push away enemies' targets when teammates are running low. When playing Superman, here are some of the tips to remember. 1. Superman can provide fast support. After cleaning the waves, Superman should always be looking for support opportunities in the first time. This will make it easy to outnumber opponents and win the battle. 2. Superman is a great threat to enemies' squishy heroes, so attack from behind enemies' team is definitely a good choice. If successful, this can nuke down enemies' carry in seconds. 3. Purify and Execute is recommended for Summoner's skill. Purify can prevent Superman from being slowed down to make sure he can fly, while Execute can boost Superman's damage to nuke down enemy. Thanks for watching today's episode. See you again next time.
Welcome back to Los Angeles in the Arena of Valor World Cup. 5th day of this amazing tournament spanning over these 2 weeks. Quarterfinals are all coming to an end now with our next match, and it's probably the best one of the quarterfinals, certainly compared to the matches we've had so far. We've had 3 3-0 stomps. Is this one going to go that way? You let us know what you think, but first let me introduce you to the teams who are taking part. On this side, it's Vietnam. And when we did the draw at the end of the group stage, they wanted their opponent, who are China. So Vietnam against China, a rematch. Like, we get this match a few times now. Most recently, in the early stages of the boot camp that was in Bangkok last month, it was China who won it. So that's why Vietnam wanted them back again. Who wins this goes through to the semi-finals. Who loses this is done. There's no second chance at this stage. So it's going to be a really close one. Now, who do you think is going to win between China and Vietnam? Let us know on Twitter. Tweet us your thoughts. Let us know what you think of the whole show and this match at Arena of Valor. Go there, at Arena of Valor on Twitter. and get involved with these incredible World Cup finals, and then get really involved by coming to them next week at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. Come to where you've seen the Oscars. That's in there. Now come and be there with us for the World Cup final, which is on the 26th and 27th of July next week. Your ticket, if you haven't got it already, is at AOBWorldCup2018.eventbrite.com. So buy that now. There's a few left. Then, free to you in-game on Swag Sunday after we crowned our world champion. Grab yourself a DC superhero or villain. There's one you don't already have, maybe Superman. You've seen him being banned so much. He's so good in-game. Grab Superman if you haven't got him already. Or Wonder Woman, or Joker, or Batman, or The Flash. Any of those. Grab one in-game. We go to China against Vietnam. We'll go to the pick. Hard to tell who is going to win this one. Let us know your thoughts. Whoever is going to win this one, it is TJ and Opal who are going to take us there.
And welcome, guys, to our second match of the day. I'm Opal, joined by TJ. TJ, was an exciting first quarterfinal to start things off. We only got one more left, and we'll know our 4 semifinalists.
Absolutely. We're most of the way there.
Mostly. Just a little bit. We just got one last
tiny
match.
Game.
One
tiny, minuscule game between China and Vietnam.
Yeah, and as you can see, winner here will go against Thailand in our first semifinal, and then across the bracket will be against Korea and Chinese Taipei. But our match here today, to end things off, is going to be China versus Vietnam.
And I cannot wait for this one because it is my personal first peek at the Chinese team, and they're such an interesting team to watch.
Yeah, they're an extremely aggressive team, and starting things off for them, Yi Chen, Meng Ji, Nan Wan, 9AK, and Junjun.
Watch for Yi Chen specifically. He's their jungle player, and he's one I have so much fun watching because the Chinese team is constantly, unlike many of the Asian teams, pressing for team fights.
Oh, they like to play bloody, TJ. They like to go pick fights. They like to punish you if you make mistakes early. But then if you look across the stage over to Vietnam, they're a team that's been known to, try and slow things down, but sometimes they turtle too hard.
Yeah, you do have to worry with them because I feel like when teams get aggressive against them, the Vietnamese team tends to huddle all in one group, play very defensive, and as a result, not be able to push forward for picks.
And for Vietnam, going to be Bronze 5, TF, Blake 1, Yamate, and Polo.
Once again, keep an eye on how they respond to the aggression, particularly Polo. He's very often their playmaker. He plays Alice, Grak, many of the support characters, and if he's playing on point, he defines their success in team fights.
Well, we know what we think about this matchup, TJ, but you're now coming into the semifinals, so I want to see how confident these teams, especially Vietnam, is going up against China.
Thực sự ra là đối với đội Việt Nam thì đó là yếu tố bất ngờ và Việt Nam sẽ mang cho tới các bạn rất là nhiều điều bất ngờ.
他在，并且我们希望取得一个好成绩。
Điều khiến đội tuyển của mình có thể tốt và đạt được chức vô địch trong nước.
我觉得最期待我们的应该是我们会拥有不一样的打法和战术。
Thì cái việc mà đấu với các nước ngoài nó cũng có gì đó khá là quen thuộc, cũng không phải kiểu bị bỡ ngỡ bởi
希望后面和我们交手的国家尽管放马过来，希望你们能从我们手里拿走1分。
Vietnam coming out of Group B as the second seed after showing glimpses of their performances at last year's AIC, but now going against the undefeated squad of China, who are only getting better day after day.
The Chinese team, of course, coming in from a slightly different edition of the game. Many of them already play in the Chinese Pro League, KPL, and as a result, they've had to adapt somewhat to Arena of Valor's release in the West.
Yeah, pretty much since the boot camp, this team has been practicing. It's been only about 4 to 5 weeks, and they've only been getting better and better. Coin flip on stage. Looks like China will have the advantage to start things off as they will have side selection.
Can I just say that was one of the cleanest coin flips I've ever seen.
Very clean. We've nailed it for the final match, TJ. China going to be starting on the blue side.
And that is good for them because they do play a limited character pool. Like I said, one of their weaknesses as a team is that they haven't quite adapted to the Arena of Valor meta. But that also serves as a strength because they play many characters extraordinarily well that we don't typically see.
And on top of that, too, a lot of times they get power picks that often they shouldn't even get. One for me is often the Omen in one of the side lanes because they've played it 3 times.
Yeah, Mengi actually has played either Omen or Superman every single game.
That shouldn't be possible. But Omen and Superman are practically banned 100% of the time.
And yet Monkey has gotten one every single time. And that to me says they're just blasting through the draft. You can also keep an eye out for, when we get into this, the Fennec.
Yeah,
Fennec.
the actual Fennec, because they were the one team to actually play it.
Yes, they're the one team that's actually played Fennec, and they played it extraordinarily well. If you're not familiar with Fennec as a character, he's a little blue fox man. And what he does, if he can land his auto attacks as projectiles, it adds a stack, a little mark called Thief's Mark. If he gets 5 of them, they all detonate and do an absurd amount of damage. That applies to towers.
Yes, that's what we saw during China. They were able to use that so effectively. Either way, we're going to go ahead, get into our first pick and ban. And Vietnam, they've done the research, TJ. They said, no, the Superman's not allowed. We'll have to see if they follow that up with the Omen.
I should hope they get rid of that Omen. I should also maybe consider saving it for their own star player during this AWC Bronze 5. He's played Omen exceptionally well in the split lane.
Well, Malik being banned out here by China as they take their time to tick things down. For China, they're often ones that can really just play anything at the moment. They really don't care what gets banned against them. For China, they're actually Aram not going to be playable here for Vietnam.
Yeah, and that's interesting because the only notes I really have here about Aram, aside from her generally being a powerful character, is that Junjun over on the Chinese team plays her extraordinarily well. So it's interesting to see them be the ones to ban it out, but it's still such a powerful character, it's rare to see her not banned.
Vietnam, their second ban here for game 1, going to be the Grak, as he has popped up here during the World Cup. Of course, I know, TJ, you're disappointed. You'd love to see the hooks from... But
counterpoint, the fact that Grak is good enough that he's getting banned is absolutely an improvement. People appreciate my man Grak.
China going to be banning, of course, the Teamy. Vietnam doing their homework, getting rid of the Omen, but that does leave the Zenyo to be the first pick here for China.
And it was instantly locked in. Monkey absolutely on board with the Zenyo pickup because it is so powerful currently. I do expect that to be run on probably 98k.
See here, interesting fact actually about 98k is that he is actually more of a support coach here for China that's come on in to actually play.
We were talking to some of the players in the lobby, and apparently he's one of their coaches, and pending some travel issues, he's come into play. And that's why he's playing more passive, more defensive, more safe, because he's not necessarily as mechanically talented as many of their players, but he certainly showed he's got the tactician's brain.
For Vietnam, though, this does leave up the Lindis for TF, and TF has had consistent performances coming into the World Cup during the group stage. He did get abused quite a bit. On top of that, for Yamate, also going to be locking in the Kilgoroth.
I really like the Lindis. Lindis currently, in my opinion, the most powerful jungle marksman out there. Definitely up there. Maybe Violet's better in some people's eyes because of her range to towers, but it's absolutely pivotal when locked in on your team.
For China here now, in response, looking at the Scud, the Tulin's going to get locked in as well. Scud, all right.
Both more meta than we're used to seeing from China, but I'm excited too. Their mage player, typically very effective. Nan 1 in the mid lane, he's actually the one to lock it in. And I do love it because that high mobility character will allow them to stay so fast and so eager for fights.
And he's very smart in his positioning, especially because he did play it once during the group stage, waited for a fight to collapse on, and then came on in. I believe he cleaned up with a triple kill in the mid lane, so he's rather smart about his positioning, knowing the limits of the hero. Now for Vietnam, they're looking to Chuknar being locked in here.
I like the Chuknar. Definitely haven't seen him be so visibly influential, But one of the things to keep your eye on with Charganar is the fact that he's CC immune at a lot of different points in the game. So you'll see him intercept things like the Slim's Thrown Spear, things that could be and should be a deadly initiation for the other team, just peel off of a Charganar, and that can be invisibly effective.
Now, during my notes here for Vietnam, this is actually a rather important pickup for Blake. He really likes to play the Liliana. Had a really good performance, but TJ, look across the board. The Fennec getting locked in for Yichen.
That's what we were hoping for, because it is so out of meta.
And it's just insane amount of damage. All the time. Like, he can go around, he can take down towers, especially with Yichen. We saw how fast he can clear out the jungle. His farm game is ridiculous on him.
Yichen plays him to such an exceptional degree. I love seeing new weird characters be played. I haven't seen Fennec in meta since, I guess, weeks 1 and 2 of Valor series. So the fact that he's coming back is cool. He was never really impossible to play, but a recent buff makes him very, very effective. Watch this ultimate, Chain Hammer Cyclone. It now applies those Thief's marks I was talking about earlier, meaning you can very easily stack the marks onto multiple people in a team fight.
And final pickup here for China, going to be the Lumber, so going to have some nice disengage as well as a nice front line if they want to go in onto Vietnam. Like we mentioned, China, they are a bloody team and they want those fights. Vietnam final pick coming on through, going to be the Alice.
Alice, one of, I think, the most undervalued characters here. Polo plays him very, very well as one of the best support players currently in the game. I love watching Polo play him, and I can't wait to see what he does here.
Now, taking a look here, TJ, you know, what is the plan for Vietnam when you take a look at this comp? Are you just looking to TF getting farmed up so he can try and carry those fights later? Or especially Bronze 5, who's made an exceptional performance during the group stages where he popped off, honestly. He showed up.
I think the Kilgroth can be very effective at split pushing during the game. That's something to keep your eye very much on. Also, pay attention, like you were talking about, to TF. If this trio works well, let's actually make it all 4 of them. If this 4-man squad works well, it's Yamate in the front line, slowing down the fight, especially with Shockwave, which is, Energy Surge, which applies a slow to anyone it's hit, which is one of the widest AoE slows in the game. Then you have the Liliana-Alice combo, which doesn't even need to be explained. Alice will slow down that fight, especially with the Hissy Fit, and it will amplify the damage coming out of a formidable Liliana player.
Well, I'm excited. It is game 1 here between China and Vietnam. Both teams looking to fight for their slot next week at the TCL Chinese Theater. Only 4 teams can join us during next weekend. China looking unstoppable after the group stage. 4-0, did not drop a single game. The only seed 1 team making it here into the knockout stage to actually do it. On top of that, they came in as a tier 2 team.
Oh, yes. And I think they're the only tier 2 team to come through as a tier 1 team.
Yes.
Which is very exciting as well. The Chinese team has been improving at such a rapid rate. This is the chance where they get to play another iteration.
Well, let's see. China already making their way up, and Blake just a little far forward. Got to be a little bit careful there. Already gets tagged there by the Scud.
Just a friendly reminder.
It's like, hey, you're playing the quarterfinals. Please respect me. Do not try and push all the way up into the lane at 30 seconds.
Both teams typically go for a trade invade at this point, but you can actually see, we talked about this, Vietnam, a very defensive team, did not opt to do so. Now TF takes the front, but I fear too much time has passed. Junjun is back to mount a defense.
Yeah, he's got Polo there. Instead, it looks like TF looking for a possible gank toward the bot lane, but still a bit early, and 9AK is playing pretty safe.
Impossible gang towards the bot lane. They've just lost too much time too early on. This is already looking like perhaps the worst habits of the Vietnamese team.
Because if you look across here, Yichen already, they were able to take away the buff. He went back on down toward his bot side, picked up his Might Golem, and now he's going to pick up his Sage Golem. He actually gets 3 buffs to start things off.
And that is huge. I've seen players talk about getting 3 of the 4 buffs. They say if you do that, you're guaranteed the victory. The stats don't quite back that up, but getting all 3 buffs is massive.
You see TF, he's just looking to apply pressure somewhere on the map because look, toward the top side, they actually cleared out his jungle, so he was, you know, clearing out the bot Seagull, but when he came back up toward his top side, there was nothing for him to farm, so this kind of just slows down his pathing on the Lindis. Now has to wait up for some of these camps to respawn so he can get some more experience in gold. But look at this, China already forming around the Abyssal Dragon.
And they'll melt it so fast. Vietnam need to get in here.
Hammers come out toward the side, looking to just disengage. Abyssal Dragon gets secured there by Yi Chen. Yamate stuck in the front line, and that's going to be first blood to China in the quarterfinals. Polo gets caught out, making a double kill for Nanwan.
Beautifully done by China. This is the aggression we were looking for. And Vietnam, they're playing defensive bronze 5. You're not supposed to be taking your own buff during that time. If you know the opposing side are pressuring down near the Abyssal Dragon, I want to see you taking advantage of that.
And that's just the power of grouping this early for China, especially with Yi Chen, who farmed up, got the triple buff, had the chain hammer available to zone away Vietnam. They could not come down the river. They were actually CC'd for a solid 1.5 seconds while the Abyssal was down below 1,000 health, but Vietnam still couldn't do anything.
Yeah, watch this again, because the Chinese team actually kite out the Dragon much further than most teams do.
Oh, 30.
Yeah, they managed to burn it down actually as it's beginning to regenerate HP, playing it very close to the wire based on the knowledge that that'll make it a little bit more difficult for Vietnam to get it.
Well, sitting at a 1,300 gold lead, 2 kills. At 3 minutes here for game 1, they got themselves the Abyssal Dragon, now wanting to open up the map, maybe find another kill, because you can already see the lumber toward the top side, looking to cut the wave in half. And China might be looking for a dive here. Mengji goes underneath the tower rather aggressively, and now Nanwan wants to come in for the fight. Knockup comes on back. Vietnam is split. God. Tower gets taken down. Bronze 5 will follow. 2 kills again for China.
That was legitimately one of the coolest tower takes I have ever seen. The way they were able to press forward, then rely on the Angelic Splendor to mitigate the tower damage coming through on them, as well as regenerate their HP, was insane.
And in my notes here, TJ, I was looking to talk about a duo roaming here for China, Yi Chen and Nanwan. Right now, it is 4 members, Mengji, Junjun, all going up together. Meanwhile, while 9AK is just in that side lane farming.
And he's having a great time. Let's talk about Mengji, though, because he's still pressuring jungle. Even whilst the rest of his team falls back, he's enough of a threat that Vietnam are doing what I was talking about in the pregame. They're grouping a little bit too much on the defensive and losing a lot of jungle control because of it.
Yeah, he's known to go in aggressively into the jungle. Mengji now helps his team out, but up toward this top side, he has to be a little careful himself. 3 members of Vietnam coming on over, but down in the bot lane, China take out Bronze 5 once again. That's a key member for Vietnam that keeps getting killed here.
Every single fight, the Chinese team managed to pressure from more than one side. They always have a flank that comes in about halfway through the fight. There, they gave just enough of a fair fight that Bronze 5 felt it was worth fighting, and then the flank comes out. 2 more players leaping from the bush behind him. By the time Bronze 5 realizes he's made a mistake, committed to an unwinnable fight, he's eaten alive.
You can see all the gold being funneled once again onto Nanwan. Let's take a look here. Marco Polo.
Yes, I'm still ashamed by the fact that that punt came through. But one of the things we were asking for is Polo here? He's a very, very influential player for Vietnam, both in the fact that he's insane when he's on point and that Vietnam are missing a major asset when he's not.
He's known to explore. He likes to roam around the map and help set up plays. But right now, China have applied so much pressure onto Vietnam that there isn't a whole lot of room for him. He's mainly answering the aggression, going across the map, back and forth, and even falling a little bit behind. Look at the level. He's sitting at 5, and Bronze 5, speaking of 5, gets taken on down.
Beautifully done again to know exactly where Bronze 5 is and instantly have the response. The Chinese team have such good map awareness and coordination.
Honestly, Vietnam, they're yelling Marco, but Polo is not answering, it would seem. The pressure still coming on through, but meanwhile, in bot lane, actually make that mid lane. 9AK now coming up to the top lane to help answer China. All lanes being pressured here by China, because look, there's even a bot wave starting to form. Yi Chen can come down and take this.
And he will. There's no way to stop that tower take by the time they realize it is going down. It is gone.
So every lane at the same time, TJ.
Is that allowed?
I don't know how they do it. On top of that, they now have Abyssal Dragon control once again.
And again, they're confident enough in that Fennec to have enough burst that they kite the dragon out of its radius to give them just a little bit more space to work with. Tiny little detail, but really fun to see.
Yeah, and welcome to Jumanji, as he is known for his aggression through the jungle. I'm sorry, viewers at home. I'm sorry, chat. They let me write some of the lower thirds. TJ doesn't like it, but I like plays like this from Yichen and Mengji being aggressive onto the Darkslayer at 7 minutes.
Mengji is so fun to watch because, like we were saying, he plays split lane, but he's constantly invading jungle. When you're able to do that, well, your team gains control and gains a gold lead awfully quickly.
And speaking of gold leads, it's 7,000 for China. 3, 1, and 5 across their objective totals and make it a 6th tower as Mengji just dives underneath it with Yichen.
They just punch the tower.
They just punch it down. He's got the Infinity Gauntlet, TJ. He doesn't care.
There's nothing you can do in the face of this Chinese team when they want a tower, it seems. They're so coordinated.
Well, Blake has to be careful there. Was getting some damage taken from Yichen. You see Bronze 5 coming on over. Polo still sitting at level 7. So far behind, and now they're getting stuck into their base, TJ. This is the issue with Vietnam. They don't try and push out once they start turtling, and it's very usually a slow death.
They need and generally are very good at slowing down the game, but I don't know if anyone can slow this train down.
You saw the tower. It's going to fall. Yamate over toward the side is going to get taken down himself. Yichen will get the kill credit. The train has arrived at the station. Nanwan also able to pick up a kill on toward the side. You see Blake is being chased down by 98K over by the Abyssal Dragon.
Why?
And 98K, he doesn't care. He still has his ultimate up in case China goes for a fight on a dive into the base.
It's more useful for 98K here to chase Blake away behind tower and keep him from returning to base than it is for he to be in the front lines because he could return in an instant with that
He's still chasing him, TJ.
That's
Blake has nowhere to run. He's catching up. China have now broken all 3 of the high ground towers of Vietnam's base. Nanwan just jumps on in there with Mengji, Yamate, and guess what? The Zenyel is going to be stopped. But guess what? The core is being taken here by China. Minions still coming into the base. Polo gets taken down. Are you serious? 98K, let the man go home. He's not in Kansas anymore. And China take game 1.
What on earth was that? Hello, China. Welcome to the semi-finals.
Oh, they still got 2 games to go, TJ, before we can check mark that one away. But after a performance like that, I don't blame you.
That was insane. With a game like that, Vietnam, a traditionally defensive team, a team that can definitely get rattled in the face of aggression, I think they're thoroughly rattled. They're sitting in some of those new D-box seats.
Oh, they got some.
Those are the ones that vibrate.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I got it. I was just making sure.
Right.
Well, give this. Look at the team coordination here, buddy. Junjun and Nanwan. Nanwan 100% kill participation. The Lumber sitting at 90. And the damage from Nanwan.
Yeah. Hello, Nanwan. This is what we were talking about when we said Nanwan was a player to watch. I'd also especially like to highlight the damage taken across the board here. Very, very even. That typically comes out when you don't have either a whole bunch of focus coming through or you have such a big lead that the tanks don't really need to take the front line. Your tanks only need to dedicate themselves to taking damage when you're getting focused down in the back lines. If Nanwan was constantly in peril, then you start having the Lumber diving in front of bullets, taking fights instead of them. Here, wasn't a problem.
Well, unfortunately for Vietnam, they're going to have to change up something in the play style. They have to adapt here when it comes to playing against China because they got demolished in game 1. TJ, that was a perfect game 1.
Yeah, in every sense of the word, both in the technical term of, yes, that was a perfect game. No towers, no kills, no response from Vietnam. But also in the sense that that was some of the cleanest arena of Valor I've ever seen. Especially after yesterday. Korea gave us a show I thought no one will ever top that.
Well,
I've seen one better.
They've had 5 weeks to practice, and imagine, you know...
They've had 5 weeks to practice Arena of Valor, years to practice the Chinese edition of the game.
Exactly. So now for Vietnam, what do they change up here? They're going to start with at least the side selection being themselves onto the blue side. China, they get their home colors of red, though, for the Dragons. And even then, I don't know if getting that extra band helps you.
How come they get the coolest mascot?
Dude, dragons are threatening and scary. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little bit, you know.
Terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Looking at it now, that is a terrifying dragon. We're into the batting phase, though. That Grak already removed. And that's interesting to me as a first ban from Vietnam.
Yeah, because honestly, I think it's what it is for Vietnam is they want to play the Alice. That has to be the answer here. They want Polo on the Alice. With Grak being off the table, you kind of take away that counter, but I don't know if that's the priority. Because for me, Polo, you know, where was he during that game? Honestly, he was often responding to aggression. We didn't see him make plays.
So it's interesting. One of the things about both Alice and Grak is it's very easy to miss their impact unless the rest of the team is following up. You can land all the sick hooks in the world, all the excellent sunshine stuns in the world. If there isn't damage to follow the stuns, to follow the hooks, then it doesn't look like you're doing anything. And it doesn't appear that you're doing anything in the stats either. So I would go out on a limb and say we haven't decided whether or not Polo's present, but the team play for Vietnam definitely isn't.
We're going to go ahead, get into our pick and ban here. Teamy being the final one on the side of Vietnam. On top of that, they don't want to let 9AK, you know, chase people down in the jungle with that Zenyo and then
bullying,
and then teleport back to the fight.
There's a presidential campaign against that. No more bullying.
For China, of course, banning away the Superman on the red side, as well as the Arum.
Yep. I like the RM ban from China. I said earlier.
Ooh, they're just sticking to their guns here. Actually, they've taken the bans, I believe, from Vietnam on their red side.
Yeah. Okay, sure. All 3 of those are standard bans. You shouldn't live in a world where Superman or Omen or RM get through the draft consistently. Of them, Omen is the one you can let through occasionally.
All right, here for Vietnam, going to be locking in the Moloch for themselves. Going to have that ultimate to go for the fights into the jungle or look to zone away members of China during a dive.
Irie will come out. Oh, no, I shouldn't call things ahead of time.
I know. It's a little spooky. It's a little spooky. We get to see all the splash arts now.
I was excited for the Irie because the Irie to me is a sign of more aggression. We don't get that, but they do get the Lindis.
Oh, man. For Vietnam, that's not what you want to give over because we saw, you know, Yichen on the Fennec was doing damage. Now on a Lindis, it only gets worse.
Lindis is one of the most powerful marksmen in the game, if not the most powerful, and her speed, she gets a little speed boost when she goes into brushes. What that means is a well-played Lindis just zooms around the map. It's insane.
On top of that, Yichen himself already clears out the jungle at an incredible pace. The amount of gold he generates for himself alone, he's sitting at 710 gold per minute coming out of the group stage. The guy is a farm machine, and that's with China also looking to engage on fights.
One of the other things to talk about if we're working on positioning is Yichen has some of the lowest damage per minute taken of all junglers, sitting at just 1,900 average damage per minute coming into today.
It shows that he has great positioning during these fights. That's the main reason why his KDA is also 9.6 coming out of the group stage.
And everything about him is that impressive, and I do feel it all comes from that smart movement. You're able to farm well if you're zooming around the jungle quickly. You're able to stay safe in fights if you're playing back, keeping yourself safe, and of course it's a delicate balancing act. You don't want to be irrelevant to the fight, but you want to be safe enough that you're not focused down. That's how you achieve that high KDA.
All right, Vietnam here, a little bit of a switch up because Blake really likes that Liliana. It was available, instead opting in for the Tulin.
I can only see the Tulin as a sign of changing things up. Both Tulin and Liliana fit rather similar roles.
This is a poke-heavy composition coming out here.
That is the exception. I would say Liliana typically has to commit more to her fight, so a ton of her damage comes from that combo with the unpredictable, using the Riki shot, and that takes work, dive, effort going in. Tulin, by contrast, can kind of hover towards the back of a team fight if you're playing it passively. Maybe that's the idea. We want to play defense, but we don't want to give up all these major objectives. Build a composition that can prod away at the Chinese team as they go for our towers.
My only concern here is Polo on the Joker. You know, early on we saw China able to abuse him, able to catch him out during the rotations. Sure, you're on that Joker, you have a little bit of CC immunity, but still, if he gets chunked out, that's going to force him to have to back off because he's mainly just here as a poke machine.
Yeah. I do think Joker's got a little bit more mobility. Of course, with that ultimate canned laughter, you dash towards an opponent and then leave. You're still very targetable. Due to a recent change, he's targetable during that animation, which makes it significantly less powerful, but it's a good escape ability.
But look at how much CC coming out here on the side of China. They're really just saying, hey, if you want to come at us, we will knock you around.
Arduin, Lumber, Crexy, I don't know what you do in the face of that, because you're going to get stunned, you're going to get slowed, you're going to get slowed, you're going to get stuns.
You're going to get knocked up?
Yep, it's going to be brutal, and I think that will be ugly to watch.
Yeah, Vietnam trying to change up their draft here, but it looks like China, they're saying, all right, sure, we'll play something a little bit more different. Our Wombo combo that is just ready to go during these fights. On top of that, then, even if they don't clean up all the members of Vietnam, with that Moonfall, Yichen will just be on the side waiting to clean up. But the Slims here for TFs, I think this requires TF to have to go make plays early.
Yeah, it also gives them a little bit more CC, so I guess that's good. I'm just genuinely not a fan of Slims because I feel his only real major ability is that stun.
Another thing for Vietnam that we saw in Game 1 for me also was Bronze 5. We didn't really see him.
Shut down.
He was shut down, and a big factor for Vietnam when they won games during the group stage was Bronze 5. He was able to farm up, he was able to find some kills and apply pressure, but when the enemy team was able to isolate him, he kind of just becomes non-existent.
I think also we're seeing a bit of a capitulation to that as well, because the Malik is not a character you typically see run isolated.
Yeah, especially he doesn't have the true 1v1 carry potential you'd often see with his other picks most of the time. Either way, it's going to be China looking to take Game 2 here as they walk on in.
China do need to play this a bit cautiously. Don't get overconfident. Play it smart and safe.
Well, knowing them, though, they like being aggressive, TJ, so...
A very confident team, would you say?
They're extremely confident. You do see Bronze 5 coming on over, looking to just zone away Junjun. So the rest of the team down toward the bot side of the map. Looking to just clear up for Vietnam, though. For them to win, oftentimes we say you got to slow down the pace of China and their early game aggression.
It's a hard rope to walk. Vietnam typically play very slow and safe, steady, if you will. If they don't also slow down China, that's just them playing overly defensive. If they are able, though, to take a few team fights, actually lower the overall pace of the game, I think they come out on top.
But then if you look at the side of China, they oftentimes want to find those team fights early, group together. We saw it last game. It was usually a roaming squad of 4 at that point when 9-8K in the bot side with the Zenial. You know, they just have the power here, especially with the team fights. There's a lot of combinations they can go for with the CC and the AoE of Nanwan.
And specifically when you're Vietnam, you're trying to find pressure to create that slow game. You have to worry because China are game to take these fights.
Bronze 5, he gets the shield on back, but he'll get taken down by Mengji as that's going to be first blood going in favor of China.
And I don't know what Vietnam do except run. Blake's still in trouble.
He's got the blinks, but he doesn't have that much. He's going down extremely low. Trap is going to pop, but he's able to get out of the radius just underneath tower, but that's going to force him to have to back.
And that's what's known as an effective kill. Here's the replay. Bronze pushing forward. He's got Polo and TF to back him up, but Nanwan's Crixie play round the corner is so smart because it forces them to reconsider their positioning for even just a moment. If they decide to dive onto him, he's already retreated. He's already round the corner, so he can't be taken down himself, but his presence stutters them, scares them for long enough. Bronze is taking a 1v3, and there's no way he survives.
And we literally just said for Vietnam, slow and steady wins the race for them in this case, because China, they love going for those team fights, especially in the tight corridors with Namwon on the Crixie. That's just so much AoE and the CC available. Oh, Yamate!
Beautiful.
Stealing away the Abyssal Dragon. I take it back. Vietnam, they're able to at least pick up something.
Nicely done.
All right.
Slow down the pace of the game like so, and be able to find these major objectives. You can't rely on steady steals, but Yamate earns his team a reprieve, brings the gold back to even.
That was Yichen actually missing out on the punish there, so a little bit of a mistake that we don't see too often from China, but see how they respond. It's actually a shock coming on down. Natwon over toward the side, going toe-to-toe with Blake in the jungle, is able to escape. Blake making his way up toward the top side of the map. 4 members of Vietnam looking to pressure this top lane tower.
Blake very quickly found himself surrounded by far too many Chinese members, but they'll still go for this tower.
Oh my goodness. Junjun forced to back off. Yichen, though, coming back in onto the side, wants to go for the play. 9AK leading the charge. Yamate also a hit. 9AK finds the knock-up. Yichen picks up the kill. They're able to also add an additional one to the counter. Yamate on the backside. He's going to fall. Yichen has now picked up 2 kills. I believe he can make that now 3 kills on the Lindis. This is not where you want the gold to be going to on the side of China, with Vietnam now down the barrel of a super fed Lindis.
That was such an odd team fight because it starts with Vietnamese pressure. China normally have this split push thing down, separating up the fights. They're all coming from one side here, and it's only the 2 tanks that survived the initial burst and actually managed to eke back something for Vietnam.
You saw there Yichen with great positioning, picked up actually a quadra kill during the fight in top lane. That is that's the kind of start you want for Yichen.
That's what he does.
There's a reason why he sits at about 80% kill participation out of groups. On top of that, he's a carry on the Lindis.
What Yichen does, that's why he's one of the most terrifying junglers in this World Cup.
You see Junjun there, gonna go toe-to-toe with Blake, just wants to back off. Abyssal Dragon started up here. Polo takes a decent chunk of damage. Look at this, China now rotating toward this bot side. You see Yichen able to just shred down Yamate if he stays around for too long. The knock-up coming in from 9AK. Not enough to actually pick up the kill. Up toward top lane, though, for Vietnam. They have been able to apply pressure toward this top lane tower and take it. How much are they going to lose, though, down toward this bot lane? Yamate just jumps on in. He's looking to delay the charge of China, I guess. But that's going to be a kill and a tower in favor of China.
China are just out-rotating their opponents right now. You can see that their map knowledge is doing very, very well. This is just things that you can see from individual players. Normally, you don't quite have a full picture of the game. And we're not quite there. For many Arena of Valor teams, they still rely on overall team coordination, their shot caller setting up the entire game for them. Here at China, it seems like every member just knows vaguely what's going on, knows roughly where they can stand.
Can't be caught out like that. Moonfall also coming on down. He just gets evaporated in the rain.
Again, map knowledge. Vietnam should have known that river was not safe. There are sharks in that water.
That is scary for Vietnam, though. If they want to come back into this game, they need to find a way to slow down the game. Allow Bronze 5 to help lead the charge, and that's way to do it. Actually, he's able to land a 3-man knockup. Junjun to get taken down extremely low. There's no disengage, but Monkey just doesn't care. He'll trade his life 1-for-1. Nadwan now bringing down the ultimate. The knockup's going to connect Bronze 5. Polo, though, gets on in there, finds the kill.
Beautifully done by Vietnam, both to deal with the flank and to then take the team fight by knowing who to dive in and focus. Nadwan melts, and even though that fight starts so rough, it's carried by a man like Bronze 5.
Yeah, you saw Bronze 5 leading the charge there. If he's not able to get fed on a side lane, get farmed, he's able to help lead the charge, I guess, during these fights. You saw that 3-man knockup to start off the fight for Vietnam. That's what they need to help get themselves back into this game. They now limit the goal total to only a 2,000 advantage in favor of China after falling behind early.
China may finally have been stymied. We said slow down the game, force China to play the Vietnam style, And we do, for the first time, see China playing slow, looking for picks, having to play an awkward way for them. It's quickly over, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, that tower isn't going to be surviving for too much longer, and that really opens up the map here for China. All the outer towers are taken on down. This forces Vietnam to have to play defensively. You do see Bronze 5 up toward the top side of the map with Polo. Might be looking for a play. Knockup's going to land. 98K, though, still pretty tanky. Looks like the tower gets taken down to about half, but look at the response. China looking to answer. You have Yi Chen coming on the Lindis. Junjun also coming in for a party. Wants to go for a play, but they take down the Lindis. Polo's able to find the snipe. Nanwan wants to try and find the kill, but the Joker escapes.
And the rest of Vietnam is here to save the day. China shut down.
Bronze 5 leads the charge. Junjun does get the 3-man knockup, and unfortunately Nanwan still a little too far behind. Use the ultimate already. That's a great call by Vietnam. Understanding the cooldown is not there for Nanwan, and they're willing to go for this fight.
The fact that they're able to dive in and shut down Yi Chen instantly saves those two players who were isolated. Then they split. Polo, knowing he's weak and an obvious focus, runs away as quick as he can. Bronze stalls out the time and calls for the rest of Team Vietnam to come through from the side lane and force China back.
And this is what I wanted to see from Vietnam, an answer here in Game 2. You told me after Game 1 where they got perfect gamed by China that they'd be keeping Game 2 as close as it is, 6-8 the kill total in favor of China. The big difference for me, though, is still this mid lane tower, the first tower. Once you get that down, it really opens up the midsection of the map. And unfortunately for Vietnam, they can't push much farther than the river.
Here's the Spirit Sentinel, major objective.
Oh, TF gets knocked around underneath the Dark Slayer. Doesn't get aggro, though. Finally, it's going to actually go for something. Yamate has to be a bit careful, sits about half health. China push them back. So Vietnam can't find anything. Meanwhile, though, in toward the side lane, Bronze 5 was just looking to clear out the wave.
Good energy surge there from Yamate. We talk about Jargnar. I'm not typically a very big fan of him, but he has all these invisible little impacts. There he can stay a little bit longer than the rest of the team because he's CC immune. He won't just be burned down.
The trap here is set by China. Want to try and get Bronze 5, but he's still now pretty tanky here. Can't really burn him down just yet. Also, Polo's there for the support, so China looks like they're trying to set up plays, but they're not manufacturing anything.
Here's another play, but it's red. Vietnam know exactly where they are because they're checking these pushes with projectiles. That's maybe what this poke is for.
Comes on down, finds 3 members. Bronze 5 with the engage. Vietnam, they have to react. They have to respawn. Look toward the backside, though. Mungji is able to get on top of Blake. Nanwan is over toward the side. Blake is alive. That's such a key factor here because Yamate can look for the disengaged. Vietnam, they find a pick.
These Vietnam team fights are so clean right now. I'm loving every single one. Look at this team fight start. Bronze 5 knows he can tag the front line due to his build, and he has a little bit of backup from both Polo and Blake. Mungi dives in. He's trying to isolate Blake and burn him down, and instantly TF, Polo, and Blake all focus through, make sure he dies so the rest of the fight can go their way.
Oh my goodness, Junjun gets caught out at the Dark Slayer, and the Dark Slayer is actually captured here by Vietnam. Can China burn off some of these buffs, though, in the ensuing fight? They got 2 members already. They're able to back off. A good call there by Vietnam. They're at least able to secure 3 buffs. What does China, though, get on the map?
Well, they get a lot of control for the next few moments, but I'd like to highlight what that does for the Vietnamese gold pool. They have been constantly, I think, out-farmed by the Chinese. This gives them a way back into the game. Just for a moment, they're back at tie. That Abyssal, though, changes it back to the Chinese favor.
Yeah, the Dragon control from China has been clean so far, as they've only given up the 1 Abyssal Dragon so far during the series. Now look to rotate. This is now looking a little bit toward the side of China. Vietnam are going to be looking for a fight. China now just looking to push on in. Yamate, gotta be a little bit careful. For me, actually, Polo on this Joker, a lot more impactful than I was expecting.
Very good support character. You expect to see him poking, providing some pressure. He's actually provided a lot of the damage during these team fights, and his canned Laptor ultimates have been deadly every single time onto a key member like Yi Chen.
See here, Nanwan just using the ulti just to clear out the Sage Golem. Vietnam looking to spring a trap, but he is caught out there by Yi Chen.
This is bad from Vietnam. They just missed the entire buff. It's now faded. China knows it, and they're going to take advantage. They're going to go back on the offensive. It was a momentary reprieve for Vietnam because China didn't dare take the fight into the Slayer buff. That reprieve is now over.
Polo gets some damage there onto Mengji. Still going to back off. Bronze 5 just looking to clear out this bot wave, as China has been manipulating that bot lane, actually often sending just one person to push back the wave, letting it build up and then push back toward Vietnam. Killing Joke is not going to be able to find Junjun. No damage coming out there, but Polo's got to suspect something's up here. Blake wants to lead the charge, gets taken down pretty low, though, by the Lindis. He has to back off, even with the shield.
Look at Monkey. Every single fight, it seems like that Scud is constantly looking for a flank, looking for a poke setup. China, though, they're looking for more than that. They want a constant invade to keep that gold lead, and they'll get it.
But here, TJ, we're now hitting 13 minutes, starting to see the end of the item builds and the levels coming on through. China rotating up toward the top side. Vietnam, they have stalled out the game, but can they hold on for much longer with China now pushing here?
It's a little bit of a race. Polo and Vietnam press top lane. They're high ground, those exposed down bottom.
Shot comes on down. Yamate wants to go for the engage. The Lumber ultimate's going to come back to try and go for the disengage. Now Blake rejoins the party. It's a 3v4 Vietnam can hold.
Tiny little moment, they managed to force out that ultimate Moonfall, the highest damage ability on the Chinese team, on just the two tanks, two characters that can absolutely
Blake
take it.
Gonna go on in here, wants to find it. Junjun's able to escape. 9AK, he's still pretty tanky. Nanwan on the side of the fight. Shock's gonna come on down. They see 9AK. He's still, though, so tanky. Moonfall now off cooldown. Blake almost gets assassinated by Mengji. Nanwan will find the kill. Bronze 5 will fall, and now Vietnam, they're running for the hills, but China are picking up the kills.
That was far too aggressive from Blake. He leans out into the bush. He thinks he has a fair fight. Maybe he can catch off 2 instant members, but it's the 2 tankiest members of China that he's fighting. He gets so unlucky, or maybe just China are predicting that bush impact so well they only send their tanks to check it.
And you see Nanwan flickering in just to finish off Blake. So there's no more mage available for Vietnam, and now the pressure's coming through here in the mid lane. Moonfall coming on down. Yamate will fall himself. China rotating up toward the top side.
Some very long respawn timers still on the board, but most of Vietnam will be back in the next 5 seconds. 4 of them now up, but only 1 high ground remaining.
For Vietnam, they were able to keep this game so close, but it was just one mistake, one bad call, and look how much China takes back. They take 2 high ground towers, they take 4 kills, and they take themselves a 5,000 gold lead in less than a minute.
And it's all just like I said, Blake thinking he can spring a trap. He doesn't have enough backup, I think, and China just check it, obviously, with their 2 tankiest members, 98k and Junjun. They lean out, they take the fight, they have no trouble at all fighting one Tulan. And as a result, now China has the game in the bag.
They pick up yet another Abyssal Dragon. Bronze 5 goes toe-to-toe with Junjun. Both tanks respecting one another, but China now starting to group toward this bot lane. You can now see the call. Let the mid lane and the top lane push into the base and then form up for a fight on this last high ground tower. After you take the second tier, Vietnam, they can't fall for this trap, but they might just lose their base if they don't fight back.
This Malak over on bronze is built really tanky, and I like it. It's so that you can fight things
Shock
like this.
Comes on down, doesn't find anybody. Yamate wants to try and take down Yichen, but he survives. Thunderbird will not find its target. Junjun used the ultimate just to zone away over toward the backside. Mengji is able to take down Blake. China pick up 3 members of Vietnam for the price of 1.
It doesn't matter how tanky your front line is if your back line is completely split off like that. This could be the final high ground.
China now knocking on the last turret of Vietnam in the bot lane. Still, though, the dive comes on through and Polo just gets obliterated. Yichen now onto the core. Vietnam, they are looking at possibly facing elimination in Game 3. TF, he wants to try and save the base, but he has no one else around as China takes the series lead 2-0.
If that's how you knock on things, I'm scared for my hotel door. They just blew past.
They took a okay, they were knocking on the door with a sledgehammer.
I could tell. It melted. was demolished in seconds, and that's what this Chinese team have done so well. If you're ever like, man, how do I take a tower? I constantly feel like I'm not able to press through. What these Chinese players are doing is a tutorial.
And look at them. It's just another day at the office, TJ. Calm, cool, collected, and a couple smiles here and there. You saw, though, on Vietnam, heads are down. It is now do or die. They were able to bounce back after a devastating game one. We'll give them that, but they have to do a little better because it's just one mistake and China will turn the game.
Look at the gold. I really do think that Vietnam played despite losing the gold game quite early on. They were being consistently out-farmed, and they only earned it back via major objectives.
And that's a good call for them. They've changed up their play style, but Yi Chen on yet again this Lindis. Look at that kill participation, TJ. 89%.
Yep.
Is all over the place. Also picking up a triple. Actually, that was a quadra kill in top lane to begin things off. It's not the start Vietnam need.
No, it might be the start they deserve, though, because that was a very risky push.
Very risky, and we can take another look at the plays. Bronze 5 was able to find great shock ultimates to come down, but unfortunately, one misplay there in the mid lane, and China just took it all the way back home.
A very different play style from Bronze 5. We typically see him staying completely isolated in the lane. Here he took the front line. Oftentimes was what led his team into team fights, and he did the role very well, multiple times saving the game.
And you got to give it credit. Someone on Vietnam needed to make the calls, needed to lead the charge into these fights. You see there China, after their win, still looking pretty good. One thing I will give Vietnam that I did enjoy, though, is they went for that Dark Slayer after catching out 2 members of China.
Yeah. Very good conversion into objectives. Then, though, we saw that defensive playstyle from Vietnam rear its head again. They had the Slayer buff, they had multiple players cowed behind the towers on the Chinese side, and they did very little with it.
So you see there, 9-19, the kill total. A 9,000 gold lead to end things off. 9 towers for China, the 4 Abyssal Dragons on top of it. So for Vietnam, now it's do or die. You're heading into game 3 with the possibility of being sent home to 2. It was mainly used as a follow-up. I didn't see it often leading.
No, I mean, why would you? Just ban out the characters you feel like you never want to play against, and why worry about counter drafting if nothing's really countering you?
Exactly. Vietnam also banning away the Zenial, the Arum on top for China. Now coming down here, Vietnam, you can see that team, they are still, I don't see much communications right now, TJ. This is looking a little bit, dire. There's a lot of stuff going through these players' head. But because honestly, you're thinking, we lose this game, we're done. We lose our shot at $200,000. We lose our chance to play over at the TCL Chinese Theater.
Last year at the Asia International Championship, Vietnam was the team that got far further than anyone expected. Constantly pulling out upsets, pressing forward against teams that were rated as much more experienced and much more successful. Here, maybe they expect to do the same, maybe they can do the same, but it needs to start now.
And so far, TJ, the picks are remaining the same. Coming out from China, the Scud and Lindis once again for Yi Chen.
Malik coming through first for Vietnam on Yamate. I do like. It's a good pickup that we saw for Bronze 5 last time. Presumably it's being passed back over to him, and if so, maybe he can have the same impact.
Lead the charge, lead the team fights, and find the kills. Turn that into objectives. Vietnam, they were able to slow down the game in game 2. They didn't get steamrolled by China like we saw in game 1. Now, time ticking down for the picks here on the side of Vietnam. Need to decide what they want to go with.
Okay.
Blake, all right.
I like the Crixie. Yeah. Tulin was very powerful at the poke game, but I think taking the Crixie away from China is just as important. Yamate, very, very, very good at securing that front line, slowing down the play, but it wasn't enough. We still saw that Crixie finding big damage repeatedly.
So those are going to be your lock-ins here. China with the response. Nanwan just having some fun. flexing through the Flash, the Tulin, even the Ignis. I doubt that's actually going to be coming out anytime soon from China, but we'll have to see.
wouldn't put it.
I wouldn't say it's out of the question. Yeah. China might have been practicing it. Tulin though, and the Arduin also getting picked up here.
China does some weird stuff. We haven't seen it yet though. The Arduin is into meta. What do you mean?
I
they
just
pull
don't know.
out of Fennec repeatedly.
And it's working, man. I don't know if it's weird after it finds success.
Okay, China do some innovative stuff.
There you go.
Less of a negative word.
Vietnam locking in the slims. I know you didn't want to see it, but they feel confident with it.
Okay, I'm not opposed to the slims because it can still find big stuns, big value for a team that's struggling to hold back waves of aggressors. The problem is I didn't see those game one.
No, we didn't see it in game one. China, final lock-in. This is looking pretty much to be the same comp. It just looks like the trade of mages coming through here for game 3 if they lock in this lumber.
The Target are actually surprisingly effective. I'm normally a critic. I'm normally an elephant doubter. But
so what's your thoughts on Thailand? Because, you know, they have the elephant as the mascot, the logo.
I don't doubt Team Thailand. Team Thailand is terrifying. Much like this Charganar has been.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, big time. The Charganar played very, very effectively in this last set as a way to slow down the fights. We saw the Chaos Protection repeatedly used to give him more time, he and his teammates more time to survive the seemingly infinite CC coming through. I really do like how much damage we're seeing a good Charganar pull off as well. It's very fun to watch.
Well, this will be on Polo, it seems, so
a little bit of a difference.
Acting as a roamer, because for Bronze 5, going to be having the Irie getting locked in here.
Huh. I assume...
We thought the Malik was going to go on to him.
Yeah. Yamate picking up the Malik. He normally can play Malik, so that's not out of the ordinary. The Irie coming through gives them a little bit more poke, a little bit more stun damage, and we certainly saw them threaten that during the last draft. I said I'd be okay with it then. I think I'm okay with it now. The reason I'm a little bit questioning of it is because Bronze 5 found so much as the engager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going for those fights, leading the charge, getting the 2 to 3 man knockups. But if you missed, China would punish, and they punish greatly.
And Irie can still find those engagements. You can use that Shadow Dash right into the Ryu ultimate, but that punish is specifically the problem. Malik, you can build him so tanky that 3 people shooting at you, he doesn't care. Irie, not so much.
Well, guys, we're going to go ahead, load on in for game 3 between Vietnam and China. Vietnam looking at elimination here if their core is to fall.
The brink of the precipice. Sorry, too dark.
Oh boy.
Blood dripping from the ceiling once more as another team on the chopping block.
I just cleaned the ceiling from yesterday, TJ, after the Korea-North American matchup. Like, come on. You know how hard it is to get stains out of white?
You said it, not me. Pressure forward again from Vietnam. I say that like it's something important because I think it is. Vietnam need to stay aggressive, continue being a team that's in these games. The second they break mentally, start just cowering in their jungle, they're out of here.
You saw there, Yamate looks to soak up a lot of the damage that comes into Vietnam. But look at this toward the bot side of the map. China looking to pressure, looking to just clear out the way. Bronze 5 already being pressured here, and that was one of the win conditions, you know, we talk about for Vietnam. How well will Bronze 5 perform? If he's being pressured early, it's rather difficult.
We also talk quite a bit about Nan 1. That's why. We were talking up Sleepy for having similar damage numbers. Nan 1 has done it on a consistently winning team.
And look here, Engage coming on through. 98K though, going down extremely low. This is looking like game 1. Vietnam, they're able to find first blood, and it goes on to Bronze 5. Does China answer back? The fight is not in their favor. Knockup comes on through. AOA is there. Bronze 5 with a double kill to open up game 3.
We said, are you sure you want to leave the more tanky, less damage dealing character? Bronze 5 says, yes, I miss finding all the kills.
And hey, he gets himself some gold. Let's take a look here. China, they were the ones actually, that was a nice flying spear.
Yeah, the flying spear, we were just questioning it. There you go, there's my answer. I'm sorry for doubting it. Blake also very adeptly dodging Nanwan's pressure with a flicker into the Dragon Pen.
And you saw it there, if Yi Chen actually isn't able to do any damage during the fights, it's rather difficult for China to find the kills. On top of that, great rotation from Vietnam. They find 2 kills, go for an objective, they take the Abyssal Dragon early.
Nicely done by Vietnam. This gives them a good gold lead, currently at just under 2,000. And I think it's very important that they maintain that because China are going to constantly do this. Pressure the jungle, invade.
9AK, he will get to safety though, up toward the top side. Like you mentioned, China make their way in, want to try and deny some of this farm. Bronze 5 looking to pick up some himself. But you see China now isolating 9AK. He's still toward this bot line. He's keeping Vietnam interested. Can't escape from this dive, though. Yamate will pick up the kill. And Nanwan was the only one seeming to rotate. Look toward the top side, though. China looking for a dive onto Blake. They want to try and get the kill, but there's no minions.
Look at how much Bronze scares them. He leans out and they go, we're out of here. This is a dangerous place to be.
Well, Vietnam, they got to be feeling a little bit more confident now. They pick up their 3rd kill.
Ooh. Oh, no, he didn't steal it. I thought maybe Bronze had just taken that from Yi Chen.
Luckily for Yi Chen, he's able to secure it. 9AK just going back underneath the tower. That's a shock used underneath the tower by Yamate.
Right.
All right, Vietnam, what are you going to do here? Polo wants to go in underneath. 9AK getting isolated. Junjun is coming over to the side. 9AK is able to escape. Junjun now coming on in, has his ultimate available. Mengji wants to go for a dive, but these are 3 tanks running at Vietnam.
The slow coming out from Polo on the Juggernaut is perfectly timed. Energy surge so powerful, and I've come to have a new appreciation of the effect such a strong slow can have over the past
Yi Chen's
few
here,
days.
though. Knock up is there. Yamate is able to get back underneath his tower. Now still seeing China looking to pressure here toward the bot lane, but top lane is now open. Bronze 5 is going to start taking down that 1st-tier tower.
Here's the next Abyssal. China, should they pick it up, build a strong gold lead.
You see Bronze 5 actually cutting the wave up in top lane, so really forcing China to have to make a decision. Do see TF gonna go toe-to-toe here with Yi Chen, has the level advantage on the punish, but Yi Chen is able to secure the Abyssal Dragon. Vietnam won't get the 2nd.
That is major. China would have been buried behind an just insurmountable mountain of debt. As is, though, still have a lot of money.
Bronze 5 possibly looking for the dive. Junjun just using his ultimate to slow him down as China look to evade. You gotta be a bit careful here. Polo and Bronze 5 very aware up toward the top side of the map, though. You do see Mengji still sitting there. 9AK actually looking to pressure. And it looks like we have a little bit of a pause. It seems like a player on China is not able to hear his fellow teammates. So that's a little important.
Yeah, got to make sure that there are good communications, particularly among that team that relies, I feel, so much on communication. We said multiple times, I think it was mostly me, those were some of the cleanest team fights I've ever seen. The Chinese team definitely have the benefit of experience, being a team from KPL, being a team that's played the Chinese edition of the game for so long.
Yeah.
Literally years.
Literally years. Sure, they've only been playing AOV for, this edition for 5 weeks, but they have that experience that allows them to transfer it over, especially during team fights where it's a lot about your combos. Especially they like to play heavy knock-up combos into AOE damage, try to just wipe a team in a single fight. And they're pretty good at it. They're pretty good at punishing, too. If you overstep... You saw that? You saw that? Vietnam, they had themselves a lead in Game 2. And that's the thing that's got to be kind of worrying to them in their head. If they make one mistake, China can easily take back this Game 3.
I'd like to talk about the split dive, though. Jushang repeatedly, he keeps showing up in the back lines of fights. Mungi as well. Both of them just do this thing where they just show up with big damage, and you're like, how does Scud just come out of a jungle?
Yeah.
How does Scud just appear amidst 3 of the highest value, most protected characters on the team and burn them down?
Looks like we've sorted out our communications issues, so we're going to go ahead get back into Game 3. Vietnam sitting at 1,500 gold ahead of China, which gets them a good chance here of trying to force more games. But if they get dived underneath their tower, Blake goes down low, but Bronze 5 is able to answer.
However, China take advantage of the pressure. Sure, you evade that, but they've got a top lane tower.
See Vietnam looking for it. Meanwhile, though, Nanwan is still dead here. The tower is going to get taken on down. Pressure coming on in here from the side of Vietnam. China looking to rotate back toward this mid lane. Try and clear out the wave. But you got to be careful because the pinch is now coming on through. Yi Chen looking to back off. You can see that kill participation rate. 77% coming out of groups. This guy is a part of a lot of China's success.
Because he constantly has such good positioning. This is a deep dive from Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam, they're able to pick off the tower. China, they just don't feel confident here going for a fight. They feel like they're hesitating.
Again, so much of it is from this Malik, and this Malik has been shuffled between players. Game 1, it was on Bronze. Game 2, it's now over on Yamate, but it's having the same effect. They don't feel like they can take an honest fight versus a character that has both that much damage and tank.
And I think we're starting to see the amount of punish coming in from Vietnam. I think they now understand that 9AK looks to just play passively. He tries to sit underneath the tower in Bronze 5. He's an aggressive player. He'll go for those plays even while you're underneath the tower. That's forcing China to have to rotate up to try and protect their top side. Blake, though, if he gets caught out here, he won't be able to participate in any kills. He gets taken on down.
No, he won't, because he's dead. Nicely done. I think it's very important to compare the participation rates of the mage players, because oftentimes they're at the core of these team fights. You expect the mid laner to lead almost in damage.
Well, that's going to be another Abyssal Dragon secured here for Vietnam. Sitting 4-1 in the kill totals. Mengji wants to try and contest for this Sage Golem. Yamate jumps in with the shock. China still looking to push in, but now you can see the pressure coming on back. Bronze 5 can go in and try and dive onto the carries. 9AK over toward the side, gets himself a double knock-up. China trying to fight this back. Yi Chen is still untouched. Nanwan is able to find himself a kill. Bronze 5, though, will answer. 2 members of China fall.
Excellently done, and I particularly liked that Malik shot coming through. It seemed, you might have watched, that it only attacked 1 player. The reason it was so significant was because the crater was there for quite a while, meaning any of the Chinese players who were trying to get involved in that fight had to walk through the edge of the shot crater and get the slow applied.
So Vietnam still applying pressure. Blake over toward the side. Yi Chen almost gets taken down. Blake, all right, damage starting to pile on through here.
Very nicely done, and I like to see it. The change coming over Vietnam. They're now constantly finding pressure of their own, maintaining this gold lead, and that's what they need to do if they can hope to take this game.
Now, TJ, when it comes to this, is this China making mistakes, or is this Vietnam adapting to the situation?
I think it's Vietnam doing a little bit of what we asked from moment 1. Press into the Chinese jungle so that you can play defensive.
Yamate coming on back toward the Sage Golem. Nanwan going to go ahead through that mid lane. Instead, just backing off China. Looking like they're not looking to group together just yet. It feels a bit out of place. 9AK doesn't know Polo's here. Has to figure something's up. Is going to spot him up, but up toward the top lane. Yi Chen and Mengji want to go for a play onto Bronze 5. He has 2 levels on both of them. Going to back off.
He has the ultimate at the perfect time. The Ryu ultimate providing him both the stun and shield. You need to spend it at the very last second when both players are on top of you so that you can fully disengage.
9AK has to be careful here. Polo just looking for the slow. Junjun wants to just use his ultimate to try and disengage. TF is able to find some damage toward that mid lane, though. You do see China starting to group up. Vietnam, they make the call, gets the double knock up underneath the tower. Blake dives on in. Vietnam, they're starting to run away with this, TJ.
Beautifully done. Mid lane, Bronze is under pressure, but Vietnam are coming back.
Vietnam.
Or not. They're good. They don't need to come back. It's handled. It's under control.
They're ahead right now. They're up by 5,000 gold. They have themselves a 5-kill lead, and they're starting to pressure onto their first high ground tower of the series. Junjun wants to back off, though. Mengji wants to go in. Yi Chen now rejoin the fight a little bit low onto the mana, and the knockups there has to back off.
I'm so uncomfortable with Blake's pressure. It's making me nervous. I want to root for the underdog, and they're only getting this lead back due to what they're doing in terms of pressure, in terms of control that they're
9AK.
gaining.
Look at this onto your mini-map. Almost gets caught out there. Meanwhile, the Abyssal Dragon is taken here by Vietnam. Blake
Shock
almost
again.
gets taken down. Yamate wants to rejoin. Junjun able to lay down the ultimate for the disengage. No one falls. Blake, though, has to back off. Nanwan onto the backside of Vietnam. You can see this is what China does. Nanwan wants to try and delay the game, but he's caught out. And this is Vietnam actually reading China, because this is something Nanwan does. If China fall behind, Bronze 5 is going to ensure they continue on such a trend. They will try and cut waves. They will try and limit the amount of minions coming in. This is China playing desperately.
That was so good. Both parts of it from Vietnam. Primarily recognizing there was going to be a flank and dealing with it so well. And secondly, following through, shutting down the major damage dealers.
Yamate dives the tower. It will fall behind him. TF will secure it. And on top of that, now the pressure's leaking on in. There's a minion, TJ. China on the brink of losing their first game of the tournament to Vietnam here in the quarterfinals. Core at half health.
Undefeated till this point, and Vietnam threaten them.
Looking a lot closer to their performances we saw at the AIC. Now coming in here, sitting at an 8,000 gold lead, 11-2. Bronze 5 being a leading factor for Vietnam. Look at the gold total, TJ.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about Bronze last game, and he's currently in this game 5-0-2. The man has not died, and he's responsible for just under half of his team's kills.
On top of that, he's sitting at 10,000 gold, and he's looking to add more. Mengji just wants to get him to back off. You see China, though, looking to isolate Bronze 5. This exposes their mid lane. China know this is happening. They have to take off and defend the mid lane.
This is actually a relatively tanky Irie build, which I appreciate, because we were talking up how defensive his Malik was. Bronze still brings that factor, allowing him to take major engages and survive.
For China here, what is the call? How do you try and fight back here? Try and bring back game 3 with it, so you don't tarnish that perfect record, TJ.
Find a burst, find the Dark Slayer, then just run lane.
Well, 9AK able to find the double knockup. Polo goes down a little bit low. Still, though, the tower being Nanwan just dives into the middle of the fight, finding 5 members that all turn around and just slaughter him in the jungle.
But it works because Polo is now solo. He has to fall back. Either way, it's a smart play. Unfortunately, Vietnam, they're playing 5-dimensional Arena of Valor. They just go right for the Dark Slayer. Now with the Slayer buff in hand, they could ruin the perfect record of China.
China down 11,000 gold. Teams often, though, talk about China, how well they can play, how long they can stall. Vietnam, though, I don't think they're going to give them an option. They dive a tower once again, playing this smart, take it down, and guess what? That tower up in top lane only has half its health bar remaining. Yi Chen gets chunked. That's the play. Vietnam know that they have the advantage. 9AK gets caught out. Junjun's going to be soon to follow at the pace he's going down. The tower will fall. Mengji's able to pick up Blake, but now it's just the core. Vietnam, the play is here. They need the minion wave.
All they need is one wave, and this game, this series goes to game 3 in their favor.
China looking to defend, though. Polo getting taken down quite low. Yamate goes back for the re-engage. Junjun taken down, but yet again, Mengji tries to go for the dive. Vietnam, though, are so far ahead that China can't do anything. Nanwan will get taken on down. Minions pile in onto the core. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series on our hands as Vietnam brings it back, and now only down 1 game.
China brought down for the first time at the AWC.
China. Now the question becomes, how those players feeling? Still looking pretty calm here. Still have the game in hand, the series available to them if they want to go ahead, make their way toward the semifinals. Vietnam, hopes possibly raised. We saw some smiles there. They're feeling a little bit better. Actually communicating here during the break. Looking a little bit more confident.
I like that from them. And I want to see a return of the Vietnam we saw that game. It was much more aggressive than traditional, and that shows in their stat line.
Yeah, 15-3, the kill total.
Bronze 5.
Yeah, bronze 5 is a little bit ridiculous.
Everyone else is sitting at 3-4 items. That's a complete build.
And for me, TJ, I think Vietnam understands the weakness here in China. Unfortunately for 9AK, because he plays so passively, bronze 5 was able to take over that lane.
And we were talking up 9AK is a very smart defensive player, but it didn't work well that time. As you said, bronze 5 was able to gain complete control of that lane, and I think that side of the jungle. Then towards the late game, we started to see bronze 5 open up these fights and close them with big damage bursts.
And for China too, you saw their tendency, if they try and fall behind, if they end up falling behind, they will try so desperately to try and stall out the game. Nanwan oftentimes trying to sneak behind the team to cut minion waves, but Vietnam read this. They were able to catch him out multiple times trying to slow down the game. That only allowed Vietnam to just surge ahead in the gold.
And Vietnam, we talked up those Chinese tower takes game 1 and 2. They had some clean ones of their own. So frequently, this Malik Jargonar combo, the Chaos Protection allows the entire team to push forward through CC that would traditionally stall up the fight. Then you have the Malik Shock, either used to cover their retreat or to allow them to find a clean engage as the Chinese team needs to disengage from its AoE radius.
Vietnam, they're going to be feeling pretty confident seeing that half of the stats being lit up as so. 9 towers, 3 Abyssal Dragons, and the 1 Dark Slayer. It's one thing for them too, the Dark Slayer takes. I've been liking it for Vietnam. They understand when it's open to them and taking the opportunity.
And I did love it because one of those key Dark Slayer takes was actually after they had lost a player. We saw the Polo on the Jargonar actually get burned down, and he was so low he basically had to retreat. What they then did, instead of saying, oh no, we've lost a player, we can't possibly go for a major objective, was we had control, we can take it.
Now TJ, I wanted to ask, would we see the Malik? And guess what? Immediately banned by China.
Absolutely not. That Malik was so key for Vietnam. I am astounded it even took them the second it did to ban him out.
So China respecting Vietnam.
That's big.
That's big for China, especially because we saw the bans being identical to what Vietnam just banned on red side. They said, oh yeah, those worked for you. We'll just redo it here in game 2 and 3.
China, I think, definitely benefiting a bit from being on the blue side now is the standard bans need to come out from Vietnam. The way this works is Superman basically always has to be a red side ban because the blue side gets first pick. So if you let him through, you're giving a Superman, a character that powerful, to China. Vietnam have less space to work with as a result. The key player, or the key character that they keep banning out, though, is that Grak.
Yeah, no, China's not been able to get a hold of that yet. Teamy also the ban here onto the blue side. Vietnam also banning out the Omen.
Smart.
So for China here, you look to just pick up the Zenial.
Yep, definitely a great Zenial we saw, presumably again run on 98k. How many times did that Angelic Splendor change the fight?
Well, it was a couple times. On top of that, he chased Blake through the jungle.
Forgot about that.
During the end of the game.
That was something.
Yeah, you know, he was hunting foxes, it seemed, through the jungle.
Hopefully, after that performance, Vietnam are feeling in the set. You can see.
All right.
Still very focused and very sure what they want to draft. The Scud, I think primarily you take it away from China.
Scud's going to be taken away. Bronze 5, though. We'll have, once again, presumably, the Irie.
I pick Jargonar if I'm China. That Jargonar was so big for Vietnam.
Yeah.
I pick it up, actually. Which may seem silly because they don't especially need it. They certainly perform well elsewhere, but you can play it. And after that performance, I don't think you want any more Chaos Protections.
Well, China here for Nanwan. Still thinking about this Tulin if he wants to go for it. And there it is.
I'd actually be interested to see the Crixie on Nanwan. I understand why they want the Tulin. It's a very powerful pick character. But we saw the mobility of China, the aggression of China, especially their desire to take split fights, oftentimes backfiring in that game as Vietnam, it felt like, had their number. I would have preferred to see maybe something that enabled them to move more as a team because that's what I'm looking for from them.
For Vietnam here, really want to try and do? The Preta.
I would have a frustrate if that was the case.
You would have a frustrate.
A frustration.
One frustration.
One individual frustration with them, which would be the Preta. Because Preta's good, he's fine.
But you still got the Crixie.
But the Crixie's just good Preta.
Yeah.
Or better Preta. Preta's good.
Okay, Polo on the Joker. Okay. All right, Vietnam.
Frustrated.
All right, Preta gonna get lost for Blake. Polo gonna have the Joker. So Vietnam changing up the strategy, it seems, even though the Crixie was very much available here.
Especially after that last game where Blake was so good on Crixie.
And now China, back toward the blue side. The Fennec is available.
I'm just trying to still puzzle out. I guess you have more consistent big damage theoretically on the Preta if you can amp up those Plague Spectres towards the late game. But honestly, his toolkit's incredibly similar to Crixie. We've just seen Crixie perform so well. I don't understand why they're taking the risk when their backs are up against the wall to go for a character that they're not 100% they can perform well on, especially when last game was so good.
Well, we'll have to look and see if China are going to abuse it. Still, though, 10 seconds here for 98K to lock in China's final pick. Currently hovering this Wonder Woman.
I like it.
They've been going for these team fights. It'd be great to have the additional shielding.
Yeah, and also the big stun from bracelets. You can do so much with that stun in the middle of a fight just to stall out pressure. They have the Jargonar. Any stuns, any CC they find can go uncountered.
So Vietnam really changing up the draft here in Game 4, TJ.
Lots of dive.
Yeah.
Scud, Nacroth, and then.
But
so
do you
Scud, Nacroth, Irie Joker, and then Preta.
My big thing here, TJ, is do you want to be diving onto a Zenial and a Wonder Woman during a fight?
No, you want to get to the Fennec and the Tulin if possible, but Tulin just runs so well.
And on top of that, Yi Chen, he's been known to have great positioning during these fights. So on top of that, Vietnam, they're going to have some trouble trying to isolate these carries. We'll have to see, though, if they can find it, because they were able to expose China a little bit here. They applied pressure to 9AK. Were able to force him off into the sideline, really abuse him. Vietnam found that opening.
I want to see it again. I want to see Vietnam do what they just did. Shut down the dive, shut down the split lanes. I don't know, though, because China looks so good right now.
See there, Vietnam calm here, it seems, coming into Game 4. Draft now completed, and need to keep their tournament hopes alive. They needed to pull off a reverse sweep. Game 1 is in the books. Need 2 more to go if they want to take it against China. And what a team to do it against.
Last game, we said Vietnam was up against the wall. And honestly, I had no expectation of them evolving like they did.
Especially, too, because we were not expecting Vietnam. They were oftentimes stuck in old tendencies that often would force them to fall behind. Either way, Vietnam up toward the top side of the map. It is Game 4 between China and Vietnam.
Still an elimination game for Vietnam. One more, and it's Game 5 tie set.
Well, Polo, gotta be a little bit careful here. Blake looking to just clear out the wave. See China want to try and push on in here instead. Yi Chen gonna go on over to the Sage Golem.
Yeah, and I like TF still pushing forward. Unfortunately, he's had to play within his own jungle, and we saw this dangerously from Vietnam. That was game number 1. They actually really didn't see a situation where they pressed forward in the early game, and that was the game they got perfect gamed.
Well, Yamate looking to push here back underneath the minions toward the tower. Blake already taking a little bit of damage here from Nanwan. Gonna have to see how much this Preta can pay off, because we were very puzzled during the draft, and the performance is going to be key here, because I feel like if that Preta does not show up, does not perform well at all, that's going to be kind of, you know, the main marker coming out of this game on whether or not Vietnam were looking to play this all the way.
The entirety of the Chinese team grouped here in the mid lane, staying safe for now, but the same is happening up top for Vietnam. They want to press forward.
Blake looking to back off here. Nanwan going to clear what he can. Bronze 5 and TF hovering up toward top lane with Polo. Now going to rotate down toward the mid lane.
Vietnam will stay grouped. China needs to recover, and they need to be careful.
Oh,
You're in a lot of trouble.
He's over. He has that blink over the wall. TF is going to follow him. 9AK now going to join in with the Wonder Woman. Wants to try and find the play. Does not have the bracelets just yet. Bronze 5 able to escape.
Look at the awareness from Bronze 5. In the middle of that fight, while he's running away and insanely threatened by the Wonder Woman, he actually drops the spin. That's that shuriken for a stun to slow down the play.
China looking for this Abyssal Dragon, will take it down. TF tried to get over the wall. Thunderbird gonna connect on over, force him back, but China play aggressive here. They don't find a kill, but go for the hasty play onto the Abyssal Dragon.
It was so close to a dangerous situation for both teams. I think that could have been fatal for either one. As is, though, it's a slight gold lead
Bronze
towards
5.
China.
Gotta be careful there.
He's good.
Ends up using the ultimate.
Don't worry.
Mungji coming on over. Why is he trying to? He's so... What? Are you serious? How is he escaping? Polo tries to run interference. Bronze 5. He's going for secret agent mode. He's able to escape.
That is insane. Bronze 5, that is some of the coolest movement I've ever seen, and it pays off. Mungi also getting tagged quite low in that exchange.
Oh, and that's got to be irritating. TF, though, he's going to fall here as Yichen's able to pick up first blood for China in Game 4.
Good return from China. Yes, that gets dangerous up top, but they're instantly able to find a response in that bot lane. It may be the tower as well.
Tower's gonna fall here. Yamate trying to defend it, but China are going to take him down, but up toward the top side. Mungji actually got taken down by Bronze 5, and Nanwan goes for the dive onto the Preta. All right, Vietnam, able to answer back and also pick up this top lane tower.
The problem is they're still under pressure in mid lane and struggling to hold. This mid lane tower will likely fall.
And that's the speed with this Fennec pick. If you leave open a tower, Yichen will just take it down without a second thought.
If this tower is left unguarded for 15 minutes, it's legally allowed to leave.
Tony, TF, he gets obliterated. Nanwan is able to find the kill. Vietnam wanting to try for a play. You're going to have Mungji come back over.
Two big ults blown.
Yeah, ultimates were both used, but it doesn't look like Vietnam even want to try and contest.
It's big. We saw this a lot last game, China being very aggressive with their ult usage. At multiple times, Polo used his major ultimate, or sorry, Nanwan used his major ultimate. Never mind.
Gotta be careful here. Bronze 5. He's playing aggressive. He's playing like he wants to stay in this tournament. Polo is able to intercept the Thunderbird there. Mungji is able to escape. China, though, pick up the second Abyssal Dragon, and these kills and objectives are starting to add up.
Okay, so China multiple times have used major ultimates, and it backfired as they used them too early in fights.
Yeah, but Yamate, he's going to fall underneath the tower. That's going to be the second-tier bot lane tower already taken by China at 5 minutes.
This time, though, the ult usage has been perfect, and we saw it there again. Constantly having what they need. It's only Bronze 5 who's still finding pressure. The rest of Vietnam staying grouped and staying passive.
Well, for China, they say, okay, Bronze 5, you do you. We're just going to try and take everything else on the map while you're applying pressure up toward this top side. And even then, Mungji actually coming around the corner still wants to try and contest here. And 9AK also going to be there. Lasso is available if they want to try and pull the trigger. Nanwan also making the rotate up. 5 members of China toward the top lane.
China will be able to pick up that Seagull, and that'll give them extra vision into the jungle where they're trying to find pressure. Vietnam, if they want to respond, they've got to be doing what Bronze 5 is doing. What's happening down in their bot lane. I really like it from both him and Yamate. Find pressure, find objectives, and you can see the second that tower is visibly under threat, China need to fall back and respond to it.
You see Yichen trying to chase down Bronze 5 in the jungle, actually using that ultimate. He's got nowhere to run, though, TJ. Bronze 5 gets taken down.
He steps into the Chain Hammer Cyclone, and it instantly backfires.
So they're able to pick off Bronze 5 and also give Yichen a kill toward the bot lane. TF, he's trying to contest here. Mungji leading the charge, but now runs into 3 members. Killing Joke comes on through. Yichen, though, picked up a kill over toward the side of the Dragon Pit. China having the advantage, 2 for 1, and they want some more. Chain Hammer comes on out. Double kill for Yichen.
That was so close to actually Yamate successfully... Sorry. So close to Mungji successfully managing to get away. He was on the Zenial, and he got hard focused, and he was able repeatedly to disengage, rely on his teammates. It was only a final effort coming through from both Yamate and Blake, one that took him out.
And that's going to be 3 Abyssal Dragons taken, and also a 6,000 gold lead for China. Game 4, Vietnam. They need to win to extend this series to a deciding Game 5, but at the moment, they're starting to fall behind. Bronze 5, even resorting to just continually pushing the lane. 9AK is looking to come on over here to try and interrupt him. And look, you got 3 members of China now just isolating him toward this top lane. Vietnam, they can't even push past the river. Bronze 5, Vietnam aren't even going to get anything for this.
No, Vietnam and Blake are still hovering, though. They want something.
China on the Dark Slayer.
They have vision. TF knows this is happening.
But Yi Chen is 3 levels ahead. Yi Chen missed the punish, but the Dark Slayer still goes in his favor. TF tried to get over the wall, but it was just a second too late.
He almost had the timing down, but I also love the fact the second he peeks out, there are just 5 people on him.
Yeah, they said you're not even going to get close to this Dark Slayer. Bot lane, though, you do see Yamate on that Scud able to pick up the tower, but they're losing so much more in the top lane. Second tier will fall.
Here's pressure in bot. Yamate still staying on. Theoretically, this will force China to turn around at some point, but that theory's not paying off.
Yeah, because Mungji actually cut the wave back, so there's no minions for Yamate, and China can just look for plays in mid. Polo almost gets taken out completely by Nanwan. 6 towers now fallen for China. It's almost like a wake-up call was answered, and now they said, hey, all right, Vietnam, you were able to ruin our perfect record. We're a little bit pissed.
Yamate had good play that entire time, though, repeatedly cutting wave. Polo's here to just get him out. Him and Blake, the extraction team.
And you saw Yamate forced to use his flicker to avoid the lasso from the Wonder Woman. Bronze 5 still up toward this top lane. Yi Chen is just cycling through this jungle, already level 15. You can just see his gold there and his kills, TJ. He's got 7 on the Fennec.
Beautifully done. That Fennec just so powerful, not just at finding towers like we've been hyping up, but also at finding kills, particularly with excellent usage of the ultimate Chainhammer Cyclone that Yi Chen has been delivering on so far.
Bronze 5, he's trying to avoid. Give it to Bronze 5. He's been able to get himself out of situations he should not be able to escape.
Dodged a lasso. It was a fatal lasso onto him, and he dodged it with the dash. Shadow. He dashed through the lasso.
He's trying his best here, TJ, but unfortunately, it might not be enough. China still now pressuring, looking toward a high ground tower, and Bronze 5,
slow.
He's still able to escape. Gonna pull off the recall, but China now have the map to themselves if they want to go for a play.
That slow lasts for so long, but like you say, China back knocking on the doors of Vietnam's
Bronze. He's able to use his ultimate to try and get away, but 9AK doesn't want him to stay. Looking to charge on forward. Bronze still able to pull off the dash. He's brought actually 3 members of China. This does give Vietnam some breathing room. Bronze 5, all right, that's enough. China says, we've had enough fun, you're done.
He was an inch away from being outside the radius of those bracelets. If he dodges that, he survives. He's so good. Absolutely, the takeaway for Vietnam should be you have a nuts player in the form of Bronze 5.
And he wasn't on our radar, TJ, when this tournament started. This has been kind of him demonstrating on the world stage that he can perform. The rest of the team, though, needs to follow up because now they are sitting 11,000 gold behind. It's 1,000 gold per minute for China. Chainhammer coming on out just looking to zone off the side of Vietnam. The dive comes on through. Polo gets taken on down. Yi Chen will get the kill credit. Bronze 5 trying his best, but he will fall. 1 minion survives. China looking to lock their ticket into the semifinal. Vietnam, they are able to interrupt the minion wave. Mungji is able to get across the wall. The core will stand, but all it takes is one more fight.
Yamate saved that game, diving into the midst of it, popping his ultimate just to knock everybody back and slow it down.
TF wants to go for a play. Yamate charges on in, but the bracelets come back out. Knockup is there, and look at Nanwan
Minions
toward the
core.
tide. The core is exposed. Blake has to back off. China still pressing forward. Now the second tower and bot lane will fall.
That's the power of split push. Minions from top, minions from bots simultaneously. They have both towers down. Now, all they need to do, reset, get your HP back up, and go for the game end.
13,000 gold ahead. Yi Chen also going to pick up the
Watch how
Abyssal
quickly
Dragon.
he kills this dragon.
Oh, he's even using his
It's gonna be
ultimate.
insane.
Just how fast that goes down.
Boom.
Touch
And it's
of
gone.
a button.
I love that from the late game, Fennec. Many people, I think, are kind of sleeping on his damage. You shouldn't be after this.
No, especially when he is literally double his opponent's gold when it comes to roll in the jungle. 14 kills for China. 5 Abyssal Dragons. The amount of map control they have exerted here in Game 4, showing Vietnam that Game 3 was a mistake.
And you can also look at the gold difference. Vietnam's so far behind across the board. That's just how much they've been shut out of the jungle throughout the entire game. That's what we said they needed to change. That's what they did change in the final game that we just saw played. Unfortunately, it's not looking any better.
Bronze 5 tries to interrupt this push from China, but they are still sieging on in. Final tower in the base will fall off this minion wave. Now the core remains. China just the core away from locking their ticket into the semi-final next weekend. Vietnam, with their dying breath, have to hold on. Bronze 5's gonna try just that, but China does not even care. The cores is theirs, and that's gonna be the series 3-1 to China.
A desperate last stand, but Vietnam fall, and the Chinese team is into the Chinese Theater. It could be an absolute stomp because those are two teams that we've been looking for, China and Korea. Many people have them both highlighted as major contenders, and I think the two of us have seen why in both cases.
We now know our final 4 teams going into next weekend, TJ. For China, unfortunately, the perfect tournament no longer a possibility.
Nicely done by Vietnam. You can't highlight it enough. They played exceptionally well in that Game 3. That was a game that I don't think it's fair enough to say that it was simply a pickup because China made a mistake. We've seen games like that. Upsets that primarily come from a mistake. That wasn't it. That was a game that was delivered because Vietnam outplayed their opponents.
And you can see here as we look at the post-game stats, it's going to be 17-2 in the kill total for China. But I want to see this damage from Yi Chen on the Fennec because he was farming up a storm. Nanwan actually being the key one here, sitting at 38% still though. And like we look here, yeah, the Preta, sure you did all that damage from Blake. But honestly, I felt like the rest of the team just didn't do enough damage for that to matter.
No, I don't think they did. Blake did very well, and you could see even at the game end, he's still at a decent level. He was at level 14, I think, by the end, which is not very far behind where China was. Unfortunately, if it's only your mage contesting, if it's only your mage keeping it close, you oftentimes don't have this setup for his follow-up. That's one of the reasons I was a little bit concerned about the swap over to Preta. Because when you look at Crixie, one of the big things Crixie can do is the knock-up, the combo with Mischief and Nature's Wrath. And unfortunately, Preta doesn't have that power. He also lacks a ton of the zoning potential that you see from a character like Crixie, because Crixie has Moonfall, a big AoE ultimate. The second that comes through, you need to retreat, you need to run, you need to avoid the major damage. And Preta, well, he suffers in that space.
You see there, China. Final push was almost there. Vietnam were able to hold, but they lost everything else in their base. And then finally, China were able to push on through. Their post-game breakdown, 17-2-33. The teamwork here from China showing domination in their final game of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, Game 1 was perfect. Game 2 was not. Game 3 goes to Vietnam. We cannot highlight that enough, I think. This was not Korea-VNA.
No, this was Vietnam actually putting up a fight, it would seem. And I think if you take anything...
minor shade.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not saying anything about...
It's all right. The NA team's already in the shade because they're back at the hotel.
Oh, dude. Actually, I heard they went out to the beach today. They had a nice trip. You know, they're still enjoying it, still having fun here. You have a free trip to LA.
Sure.
And you know what? They do take a little bit of a prize pool home. Not as much as they would hope, of course, and they can take this experience considering they're one of the younger regions to have the game. They got to be pretty happy with their performance. But speaking of performances, we're going to go ahead and throw it on over to Matt on stage to talk with one of the players from China.
Thank you, TJ Opal. Yeah, I have #1 here of China, who are going to make it, as you say, to the TCL Chinese Theater, to our semi-finals, to our grand final production of the World Cup. Congratulations, #1 and China. So through to the semi-final stage over Vietnam, but you lost your perfect record by just dropping that one game to Vietnam. What changed in that third match, which meant that Vietnam managed to score 1?
首先恭喜我们中国队进入4强，然后能够到我们的 TCL 中国剧院去进行我们的4强赛。但是呢，我们今天的第3场比赛里面，我们可以看到中国队好像在对战越南队的时候有一个非常非常明显的劣势。在那一场比赛里面发生了什么呢？
在最里面发生的，我觉得最大的失误也就是在于我，因为我那把平时都比较沉着稳静的，就那把比较打得太激进了，然后就很多波都是。 没考虑过队友，然后自己上了，然后就导致有些就一个一个的错，然后就导致这样了，就慢慢的就劣势。
And he said, I think I was the reason that made the game fall into such a disadvantage. Because like normally I play really safe, but in that game I just want to kill people, so I go in without thinking about the other teammates. So that's the reason that gave them a lot of chance to catch us. And yeah, that's what he said. Yep.
Okay, that's very honest of you, #1, taking the responsibility for the team. You have Thailand in the semi-finals. How does he feel going up against Thailand?
他说，承担责任这个态度是非常令人感动的。然后，另外在我们的4强赛里面，我们将对战的是泰国队，你有什么想法呢？
我的想法是我们待会儿回去就晚一点睡吧，然后就加油明天的比赛，然后我们全力以赴。
We need to stay up later to figure out what we do, but we will do our best tomorrow.
We've got loads of time. Thailand isn't until next Friday. You've got ages to prepare for that. But preparation, understood, needs to be done. They're a big opponent. Congratulations, #1. Well done to you and China for making it through to our semi-finals. Yes, they are with us, of course, next Friday and Saturday when we go to the TCL Chinese Theater. We'll talk a little bit more about those semi-finals in a minute. But first, let's go back to TJ and Opal and find out what they think.
I'll give it to Nanwan. At least he's honest about his mistakes there because, you know, there were some Tulin dives in there. It wasn't pretty. At least he understands, hey, you know, maybe I was a little too over-aggressive.
That was a melee Tulin at times, which I haven't seen since you tried him.
Excuse me, I actually have not played him yet. I'm not a mage player. I'm a marksman. Don't even try that, TJ.
We're fine.
Don't even try it.
He can deny reality
he's a liar.
if he likes.
Liar.
We do have, however, the recap of all the matches of today, and I'd like to talk through them because we did see 2 good ones.
Yeah, Chinese Taipei taking on Thailand wildcard to start things off, and it was, though, a 3-0. We still saw good plays from both teams.
Yeah, I liked that, though. I was shakily favoring Chinese Taipei coming into this. Thailand wildcard definitely showed that they had the potential to win these games, and it was just complete outplay. I really enjoyed seeing Benny especially play this Grak. You know I'm a Grak boy, and well, this was the ultimate Grak game.
Hooks left and right, and you know, you got to give it, that's Benny too.
Center stage.
Benny, there's a reason the guy had 95 kill participation. The guy's a monster.
You see
literally.
That right there? That was a tiny little flicker just used to turn the world devour around. Little details.
A little bit disgusting. So they were feeling pretty good. Neil also, as you saw rocking solid KDAs, and there were opportunities, it felt like, for Thailand wildcard to try and turn it around, but it just never followed on through, especially Star. When you go get Star on the flash, still a little bit nuts.
Yeah. I really like seeing the flash come into meta. We've seen a couple weaker flashes. This was a flash that just looked strong the entire way through. And I think it's fun because he is kind of an answer to some of the more static mages.
No, especially because I think coming into yesterday, he actually sat at a 37% win rate. Now leaving out, he's actually sitting at a solid 50. I think that's only gone up now with the matches here today. So the more experienced teams now starting to have a little bit more of a crack at him, starting to actually execute well all on the pick.
Yeah. The second Europe was knocked out of the tournament, Grak's win rate went right up.
Dude! Come on! They didn't even make the quarters. Don't need to remind them, but maybe you need a reminder of what just happened as China was able to go toe-to-toe here with Vietnam. And you got to give it to Vietnam. They were the ruiners of the tournament, destroying China's perfect record.
I really do like it from Vietnam. They had a whole bunch of upsets at previous competitions. Here, they showed why they did. They showed potential, and if Bronze 5, if I don't see that name again, I will be heartbroken.
I'll be disappointed.
This man has played his heart out this entire tournament long, and he absolutely deserves consideration for any sort of MVP award, because he's the reason this team won some games.
And he adapted. He showed his different picks. We never saw him play this style on the Malak where he had to play team focused. Usually he was off in a split lane, drawing attention from the opposing team. But this time around, he led the charge into the fights.
And it was so fun to see him all of a sudden be a Malak main, by the way. And so often, he was diving in just as you'd want a perfect Malak player to play, as sort of a pseudo-support tank player, and shutting down the fight before it could begin, laying out the area where the fight had to come out. The next Malak play, though, Yamate picked it up, and I loved seeing that too. It was a large part of why they won that game. Oftentimes, Malak players, I think, don't understand how powerful the shot creator is. If you define an area of a fight which the opposing players get slowed whenever they step in, and then take the fight around that, it's so powerful.
Well, guys, we're going to go ahead, throw it back to the stage so we can review our upcoming semifinals next week at the TCL Theater. Matt, take it away.
Thank you again, TJ and Opal. Yes, semi-finals are next. And remember, it's a double elimination stage when we get to the semis. We've got two amazing games to start things off at the TCL Chinese Theater. But the loser of those first two games, they'll get a chance to fight again. Let's talk about our first semi-final. I've got Sujay with me. We've had a lot of fun this tournament so far. 5 amazing days of action. Let's talk a little bit about one of our semi-finals, which is Korea against Chinese Taipei. Two amazing teams. Two teams we think probably would have made it to that stage if we tried to predict them at the start.
Yeah, exactly. Both teams played phenomenally well. The last time they met each other, Chinese Taipei lost to Korea 1-2, and in the boot camp playoffs, they beat Korea 3-0, so it's going to be one heck of a matchup.
What was the difference there back in boot camp? Because you say it went 1-2, and then they turned it around the biggest way, 3-0 again.
Yeah, Chinese Taipei basically learned from their mistakes with Korea, and they just played a better objective game. They made less mistakes. That's what's going to come down to. Which team is going to make less mistakes?
So it's a really close game then. It's not who's got the strongest advantage, it's just who breaks first.
Yeah, exactly. But based on how Korea is playing, I'm going to have to give it to Korea. I mean, Hack with that combo, Natalia and Grak, you cannot underestimate Korea. And because of that, I'm going to say Korea is going to take it an inch, 3-2.
Oh, we're going to start this thing off with a massive 3-2 and go all the way. Yeah, we'd like some full-length games at the TCL Chinese Theater. Yeah, I'm kind of on board. I think it's going to be a big one. I don't know if it's Korea. I kind of think it will be. I think, but we'll find out. And remember, it is double elimination. Thank you, Sujay. It is double elimination. So, yeah, whichever one of the teams loses that one, they will get a chance to fight again in the losers bracket game. And the team they would fight would be the other loser, which is going to be in the other semi-final. RIP. Thailand are through to that, and we've just discovered that they're going to be fighting against China. Now, there's some history there, but it typically goes Thailand's way.
Yes, exactly. These two teams have actually played together at the boot camp, but at that boot camp, Thailand undefeated. They didn't lose to any team there in any best-of-3 series. Of course, we're going to go beyond best-of-3 now. Of course, Thailand came out of that boot camp the #1 seed. China here was almost undefeated. They had the best record in our group stage here at the World Cup, 4-0. However, they did get that one loss here against Vietnam. So a little crack in the armor.
Yeah, that crack in the armor is interesting, isn't it? Because you said they nearly did this whole thing completely undefeated. He was saying that, Nanjun was saying he thought it was his responsibility that he let the side doan. Do you agree?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think, honestly, Bronze 5 plays so good in that third game. It's really hard to stop them. But, you know, Nanwan and Ichan are just so strong on the Chinese team. I really am looking forward to them playing. But on this Thailand side, you've got Moss, you've got Memarks, and both of those guys have just been phenomenal the whole way through.
It's been really clean for Thailand so far as well. Yeah, they have dropped a game, but we've seen such a dominant performance from them. And they were worried about fighting Chinese Taipei wildcard in that quarterfinal. Swept them aside, no problem.
That's the thing about Thailand. I mean, when something is in their path, I feel like they do their homework and they come more prepared than anyone. So specifically in this matchup, you're going to have that Fenny coming out from China. I think if anyone's going to have an answer, it's going to be Thailand.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see any more Fenix. Thank you, Rips. So, 2 semi-finals that begin the whole double elimination stage at the TCL Chinese Theater. Who do you think can win this thing? We know who our 4 teams are going to be. To fight it out between them, who do you think is going to win it? Let us know at Arena of Valor and then come and find out. We will be live next Friday and Saturday at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. That incredible venue, legendary place, AOV World Cup 2018.eventbrite.com. That's where you can get your tickets if you haven't already. AOV World Cup 2018.eventbrite.com. Come and join us at the incredible Chinese Theater, the place where Oscars have been held for years. The grandeur of that venue is where we are going to host the World Cup final for Arena of Valor and crown the first ever champion. Remember, they will win a $200,000 top prize of our $550,000 prize pool, and that is the biggest prize pool in mobile esports history. Come to the TCL Chinese Theater and see who's going to win the lion's share. And then the day after, Swag Sunday, get your Superman, or your Batman, or your Flash, or your Wonder Woman, or the Joker, whichever one you want. If you've got on there that you don't have, grab them on Swag Sunday. That is it for the first week of the Arena of Valor World Cup. It's been an amazing week. Congratulations to all 12 teams for making it to this stage, but only 4 remain now. We have Thailand, we have Korea, we have China, and Chinese Taipei. They will be at the TCL Chinese Theater. I hope you will join us there. If not in person, then make sure you're watching as we crown the first ever world champion of Arena of Valor. That is with you next Friday, live from Los Angeles. I've been Matt Andrews. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you then as we crown the world champion of the world's biggest mobile game.